Empty box. I was barely 10 years old when I went to boarding school. As a 10-year-old child who had never ever lived independently, St. Augustine's College was, a pretty intimidating place. My parents dropped me off on the first day of school with a bulging bag full of books, a heavy trunk full of clothes, and a chop box bursting full of food. By the end of the term, I had lost everything. Every single stitch of clothing, every book, every bowl, plate, and spoon was gone. Not even one sock survived. My grandmother took one look inside my barren trunk and collapsed with laughter. Adakato, adakato, she chanted with glee while tears of mirth flowed down her face. My second term was also very tough. The bullying continued, and I didn't come home with much of what I left with. Of course, my parents were furious, but with superhuman patience and equanimity, they took me back to the tailor's to be measured for a fresh set of uniforms, the bookshop for a new copy of every lost textbook, and even sent me back to school to lose them again. Of course, old lady was always waiting to welcome me back home with her cackling laughter and a fresh chorus of adakatu chants. Over the holidays, I visited my family, just these recent Christmas holidays, and we spent some time remembering Uledi. Of course, my Adakatu nickname came up, and we all laughed about it. And then my mother, in the quiet moment afterwards, said, "If only Uledi could have lived to see you now. She would have been so proud of who you've become." My dear friends, several of us are living the empty box syndrome today. Many people got paid last week, but already their salaries are gone, and they face a whole month with an empty box. Traders bring in goods, and by the end of the month, the cedi has depreciated so much that their profits are all eaten up, and they are back to square one, and an empty box of profits. People repent on Sunday, and by Monday they are back to their destructive old habits again. Their box of good intentions already empty. Same for New Year resolutions. As a country, we have continuously mismanaged our economy to the point where our coffers are bare and have been forced repeatedly to go back to the IMF with our empty box to beg for paltry crumbs. The truth is, the empty box syndrome is a self-perpetrated cycle. And at school, I was losing my stuff because I was being bullied. For a long time, instead of doing something about it, I was waiting for the bullying to stop before I could keep the stuff my parents had worked so hard to buy for me. In the same way, workers are waiting for a pay rise before they save. Traders are waiting for the city to stabilize before they turn a profit. Christians are waiting for the rapture before they change their ways. And as for Ghana, let me leave you with this, okay? My name is Koji Angson, and if I'm successful, I'll take credit for it. So if I fail, who must take the blame for my adakatu? Good morning, Ghana folk.
Good morning and welcome to the news at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and myjoyonline.com. We're still live in all 16 regions of Ghana on X Spaces and on Facebook. This morning, many schools facing feeding challenges, especially in the northern regions where students survive on rice as supplies run dry.
I do not have anything apart from rice, breakfast, lunch, and supper. And that is true for almost all the schools in Upper West and in Upper East. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil.
Also coming up, President Mahama is confident in his government plan to prevent a looming power crisis as the technical committee constituted to look into the challenges unveils its roadmap today.
You can rest assured that government is taking the matter seriously and will do what has to be done in order to avert any difficulty for the people of Ghana.
In business,
we explore the economic policies of John Mahama as he formally begins work as President. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And also coming up, Ghana Union of Traders Association is urging the government to reconsider scrapping the electronic transaction levy.
If it is possible, government should not abolish the e-levy, and so we can use the proceeds from the e-levy to regenerate this.
These and all with me, Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. Stay for details. And we start from the education sector. Schools in the Upper East and West regions are facing severe feeding challenges, with students relying solely on rice thrice daily due to limited supplies and no cooking oil. CHAS has warned the Ghana Education Service about unresolved financial issues, including unpaid debts for food supplied last year, and appealed for a delay in reopening schools. However, the GES proceeded, leading to food rationing. CHAS National Secretary Primus Barrow described the situation as critical and unsustainable on Joy News in News Desk.
They're saying that apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, if apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize. You cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my matron, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still not out of the blues, and the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire needs. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned.
And you heard that CHAS National Secretary Primus Barrow. Meanwhile, students of the Kwashiman cluster of schools located in the Ablikman North Constituency were asked to go home because their partially damaged buildings were still in need of repairs. The fire-damaged areas remain sealed off. My colleague Jacqueline Ansumayeba was at the school yesterday and reports.
Oh, I see you with your backpack. Where are you going?
Please, I'm going home.
Why?
Please, because our school got burnt, so they told us to come to school over here, but today they said we'll close early, so that tomorrow they'll come and arrange how we'll go to school every day, because they said we'll run shifts.
This is 10. I presume you're supposed to be in class by now, but why?
Please, we are going home because they sacked us. They said tomorrow we should come, then they'll arrange us.
And you heard that Jacqueline interacting with some students there. Now, President John Mahama is confident of his administration's commitment to tackling a potential power crisis, assuring Ghanaians that his government is fully equipped to navigate the challenge. The technical committee is expected to present a comprehensive roadmap to avert outages following a 24-hour deadline. This comes after warnings from former Deputy Power Minister John Janapo, who attributed the potential crisis to fuel shortages. Max Olagbagba reports.
The emergency meeting chaired by the Chief of Staff brought together key stakeholders in the energy sector. Nearly 40 representatives from the Ministry of Energy, GNPC, VRA, WAPCO, Sano Nasogli were present. The Director of Systems Operations at Gridco was the first to deliver a presentation on the current situation before addressing the media.
We came to inform the government is that yes, there are some liquid fuels, but it's not enough to cover for the period of the pigging, and so efforts have to be made to get enough volumes of the liquid fuel so that that critical maintenance can go on as planned.
It was a busy first day in office for President John Mahama. He met with delegations from the World Bank, the Commonwealth and the Yagbon Ra. During his meeting with the World Bank delegation, the power situation came up. President Mahama acknowledged that while the transition has been smooth and cordial, there have been a few surprises in the energy sector. However, he expressed confidence that Ghana has the human resources to address the challenges and turn things around effectively.
The transition has taken place. It's been smooth, it's been cordial, but there are a few surprises that have come up in respect of the energy sector, in respect of, some aspects of government's decisions and things over the last several years. But I think that Ghana has the human resources to be able to deal with the situation and turn things around as quickly as possible. I use the word we need a reset. We need to reset this country.
And President John Mahama's voice ending that report. Now, Parliament has approved an 11-member appointments committee in readiness for ministerial vetting. The committee will be chaired by first Deputy Speaker Bernard Ahiafo. The committee is also made up of 7 members from the NDC and 4 from the NPP to reflect the numbers in Parliament. Deputy Minority Leader Patricia Piaget, who is one of the only 2 women on the committee, wants more women representation on committees in Parliament.
We on the minority side did not perform well by producing too many women. But on the side of the majority, I acknowledge that we have as many as about 31 women on their side. And Mr. Speaker, I regret to mention over here that if we are talking about balancing, I expect and I would like to appeal that on their side, they have to produce more women for each of the committees.
Well, Minority Leader Alexander Henyumakin is charging all MPs to take whatever committee they are assigned to seriously.
Every committee is important, and it goes to our first timers. Mr. Speaker, until the time he took over the Government Assurance Committee, little was known of the Government Assurance Committee. When we came in 2013, it was one of the committees we saw as the Siberia Committee. It took the industry of a member of Parliament to make public account relevant and to become a committee for all members to get closer to. That was done.
Now, returning officer for Ablekuma North Constituency, Vincent Obeng, has given up on the coalition process and asked the EC to look for another official to take over. This is in reaction to chaos and near fisticuffs between agents of the NPP and NDC, which nearly marred the coalition process on Wednesday. James Aveji reports.
The Electoral Commission has yet again suspended the coalition of result for Ablekuma North Constituency. Just before the process could kickstart today, the NDC constituency organizer for Ablekuma North, Musa Kalami, raised some concerns accusing the EC of not telling the truth.
Some of the POs, when they met the returning officer, they told the returning officer they can't confirm the figures on the scan pink sheet of MPP.
Coalition process, there was chaos.
How the NDC organizer did on the 8th of December in Ablekuma North. All the TV stations, you are seeing him.
But at the end of the day, the EC has been able to authenticate only 4 out of the 3 polling stations. Here is the returning officer for the constituency.
We came today, we've been able to do 4 out of the 7. So we are left with 3 more. We brought our presiding officers here. 2 came and they couldn't authenticate the statement of poll and declaration form. 1 said she can't come. So that is the 3 now. It's so unfortunate for me to make this statement that I'm done with Ablekuma North. They should find a new returning officer.
Well, that means that Ablekuma North still doesn't have an MP. Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has urged the government to reconsider abolishing the e-levy. During the campaign, John Mahama and the NDC committed to scrapping the e-levy as part of their 120-day social contract with Ghanaians. However, GOTA President Dr. Joseph Obeng wants it retained.
I would suggest that if it is possible, government should not abolish the e-levy. And so we can use the proceeds from the e-levy to regenerate this wealth that I'm talking about, to grant access, to give access to the SME and then the women, and that the president is so concerned about.
Dr. J. Joseph Obeng bringing us to the end of this morning's bulletin. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Up next is Business on the Super Morning Show.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Friye, the Health and Safety Manager of Total Energies Ghana. I want to remind you of the importance of road safety, especially as the festive season draws closer. Road accidents don't just happen, they are caused. reckless driving, overspeeding, and poor vehicle maintenance are some of the leading causes during this period. Here are a few tips to keep you safe. Always ensure your vehicle is in good condition before traveling. Please wear your seatbelt and avoid distractions like using your phone whilst driving. Let's commit to responsible behavior on the road this season. Remember, safety starts from you. Safety for me, for you, and for all. Afishapa.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Reliable, check. Comfort, check. Strong, check. Tough, check. Tried and tested, check. Affordable, check. Comes in so many colors and sizes, check. Suitable for domestic and industrial use, check. Choose quality, choose Syntex Tank. Available nationwide and comes with 7-year warranty. And remember, Syntex Tank is a caring brand too. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
Businesses know how important it is to create a productive and supportive working environment by investing in employees' health. With a leading international track record, Apex Health Insurance is licensed to provide medical insurance services to corporate organizations and SMEs. We also have international LH Blue cover and TPAs to cushion you. Multinational companies, factories, and government agencies, focus on your business while Apex Insurance takes care of your health. Visit Apex Health Insurance office at Zion House, Boundary Road, Shiashi, Kumasi, opposite Prempeh College, Sofo Line, and Takrady Market Circle. For further inquiries, call 0501 562 962 or 0501 552 495. Apex Health, your preferred health insurer.
When you hear that sound, it can only mean one thing. It's the sound of excitement, the sound of milky goodness. It's the unmistakable sound of rich, creamy deliciousness. The sound that lets you know that the original milky richness awaits. The milky richness you can find in every bite of Munchie Milk Shortcake.
With its unique blend of milky richness and carefully selected ingredients, Munchie Milk Shortcake is crafted from an original age-old recipe to delight your taste buds. If you're looking for pure satisfaction and the authentic taste of original milky richness, it's time to grab a pack of your favorite biscuit, Munchie Milk Shortcake, today.
This advert is FDA approved.
How secured are you? Let me ask you again. How secured are you? Say yes loud with confidence when you are protected by Millennium Insurance, because it gives you great reliability and comfort. Sign on any of our products today, be it motor, fire, burglary, accidents, travels, bonds, liabilities, engineering, marine and aviation insurance. Visit our offices in Accra, Northridge, Tema, Kumasi, Kofridia, Takrady, or any of our 30 agents nationwide. Call 0302-766-631 or 0504-394-997.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
What are you paying for? A delicious meal at the restaurant? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. Buying fuel for your car? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. Shopping online or at the mall or your favorite supermarket? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. When you need to pay, do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. With a large network of merchants and payment points, the SG Ghana Visa Card is your secure and convenient way to get things done in Ghana. You can also use the SG Ghana Visa Card for secure online purchases. Make your life easy and use your SG Ghana Visa Card today. To find out more, call 0302-214-314. That's 0302-214-314. Société Générale Ghana. The future is you.
Bavu.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in place.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You?
Okay. I'm all right. The lights are on, and we are waiting to find out what came of the meeting they had yesterday.
Yeah. And then we are thinking about food for students as well.
They are back in school and there's no food for them.
Well, doesn't this just show how poorly our country has been run?
Yeah, in fact, and it shows just how little planning was made, for the new year. I mean, really?
I mean, a day after handing over, we have issues of power. Children are going back to school. They don't know what they are going to eat when they go back.
It's almost it's almost as if somebody took his foot off the pedal quite some time ago, and we are only now seeing the effects of it.
Sorry,
it's unfortunate. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, the new people too are showing some ridiculousness. NDC supporters have gone to Cocoa Board in Tema, sacked all the workers and have taken over, and their reason is that Mahama is in power, so they are now taking over everything.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know why people do that.
You see, it's the thuggery. Thuggery. These are thugs. These are criminals. They've entered government property and taken it over.
They should be dealt with, and it should be condemned.
But will they? Are we going to see, some law enforcement officials interested in keeping their jobs, and so they will be reluctant to go and deal comprehensively with criminals just because the criminals have mentioned the name of the ruling party?
Well, the president before the swearing in told the former president Akufo-Addo to deal with it. So now that he's president,
he better deal with it too.
He should deal with it as well. Yeah, because this can't go on.
The people are even doing it in your name. They say it's because of you that they are doing it, because you have won an election. Deal with it.
This should be condemned.
Speaking of the president dealing with things, I mean, it's his first couple of days in office. If you were his executive secretary, what are some of the things you would be putting in front of him on his desk to deal with immediately?
This took me. What should he deal with immediately? I mean, I think perhaps the power issues. I mean, for me, that's critical, because once we head into a crisis, which we are in right now, I should say, it begins to affect everything else. Yeah. And we know what happens afterwards. So, yeah, I mean, I think power is priority.
I'd also say feed the kids.
Yeah.
I'd say feed the kids.
I'm just wondering how he's going to deal with this. What's he going to do in the short term?
You can't conjure food from the sky.
Exactly. I mean, what can he do right now? All the best, Mr. President. It's difficult.
Yeah, we have experienced some things. Anyway, the 6 a.m. news came to us thanks to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Absa Bank Ghana Limited, your story matters. Not forgetting Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Joy Business Report now. And that is thanks to Omnibasic Bank at your service at Safari Valley Resort, bringing you closer to nature.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, we explore the economic policies of John Mahama as he formally begins work as president. Also coming up, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobneni pushes for an interministerial action to effectively contain inflation rather than see it as a Bank of Ghana issue. Also, the Africa Center for Energy Policy advocates swift reforms to make the Electricity Company of Ghana effective in its revenue collections to pay for power as it takes from production companies. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us. Hello to our friends listening from Kof Radio on KT Radio. President John Mahama has hit the ground running after he was sworn into office. The president has already met with some key players in the power sector, as well as the country's development partners. But what has the president promised when it comes to the economy? Here's George Yafe.
When it comes to the economy, John Mahama has promised to reset the economy that he believes will put it on a strong footing and stabilize it as well. The president has spoken about holding a national economic dialogue within his first 121 days that would help create a 4-year fiscal consolidation program as part of his strategy to rebuild the economy. One can talk about his plan to renegotiate the IMF program, even though there are no clear timelines to this. There is talk about the 24-hour economy, which the president-elect believes will be a strategy that will be operated on 3 shifts and expand the economy to help create more jobs. On taxes, the president has promised to abolish electronic levy on mobile money transactions, COVID levy, 10% levy on betting, and the emissions levy. All of these things will be done within his first 90 days in office. The president has also promised that within the first 3 months, he will review some taxes and levies on vehicles and imported equipment. There is also talk about the 2025 budget that will be presented in April that would aim at supporting more small businesses within the economy.
George, I feel with that report, well, whilst we talk about resetting the economy, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobnenim is pushing for an interministerial action to effectively contain inflation. This was after December 2024 inflation reached 23.8%, with rising prices of some food items identified as the main driver. Professor Enim noted that addressing the challenges of inflation must be coordinated between the Bank of Ghana and relevant state agencies such as the Agric Ministry.
We definitely need to move the conversation away central bank's responsibility in bringing down rate of inflation. We need to tackle inflation at the minimum from 2 perspectives. Every sector ministry that we talk about in our release should be responsible in driving down rate of inflation. Our conversation now is focusing on only the Ministry of Food and Agric, but if you look at the items here, transport is a dominant division. Housing, water, electricity, and gas is a dominant division. These sector ministers or ministries should be part of the conversation on how to drive down the rate of inflation. The second thing at the minimum we should do is tackle inflation from a subnational perspective. And that is why we put our rate of inflation at the regional level. But to what extent do we engage our regional ministers or our subnational governmental structures in driving down rate of inflation? So we really need to tackle it, otherwise it's going to be the bane of the poverty that we have and all the other economic and social challenges that we have.
You had a government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobnenim. Now, the government has paid $346 million to Eurobond holders and is targeting to clear 2 payments in the first quarter of this year. Speaking to Joy Business, finance professor at the Andrews University, Williams Pepra, said this has the tendency to enhance Ghana's ratings on the international financial market in the medium to long term.
I mean, this is good news. We may see that straight away the rating agencies are going to change our ratings. Our ratings are going to be improved from the C column moving up to the B column. So this is good news. The moment the country starts to pay your debts, it changes your credit worthiness. It puts you in a better position. So the beauty of this is that in the future, should government want to borrow again, it will lead to a reduction in the interest rate that we will pay.
You had a finance professor at Andrews University, Professor Williams Pepra there. Now, turning to energy issues, the executive director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ASA, Bemboache, is advocating swift reforms to make the Electricity Company of Ghana effective in its revenue collection to help pay for power it takes from production companies. He argues that the current system where the central government is made to pay for the shortfalls of ECG is not sustainable and would continue to add on the debt in the power sector. Mr. Boache made the suggestion following a disclosure that the country does not have enough fuel to power some thermal plants in the coming days.
ECG is the one who's supposed to pay for the fuel. We are getting government to go and buy fuel because ECG doesn't have money. Power they consume, they don't pay for it. So if you give ECG, for example, 1 megawatt of power today, they can only account for about 48% of it. Okay. What that means is that, more than 52% of the power is unaccounted for. So government always has to pick up that bill and now pay the suppliers and the value chain. And that is not sustainable. We keep sacrificing all that we have to keep the light on, to do the politics with it. And that's what I'm saying, that it's not sustainable. We need to fix that. And once you fix that, all these procurement issues that we have, ECG would have been able to guarantee the supply of fuel ahead of time. Even when WAPCO said we're going to shut down, ECG would have picked it up because they have the balance sheet, they have the resources, the revenue streams to be able to, securitize the supply of fuel.
Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Asa Bembwache. Meanwhile, the Executive Director of the Institute for Energy Security, Nana Amwesi II, says the Mahama government must find a lasting solution to the issues of lack of fuel to power thermal plants.
For us at IES, these are some of the reasons for which Ghanaians chose the NDC, and overwhelmingly, they won the hearts of Ghanaians. And so there is no room for excuses here. We understand the problem. They equally understand. The only thing that is left is to provide solution and deal with it. And so that is good. Let's go with that and let's look for a solution, a long-lasting one or an immediate one, then a long-lasting one, because it will not be the last time that we will be confronted with pipeline inspection or maintenance.
Executive Director of the Institute for Energy Security, Nana Amwesi II there. Now, oil marketing firm Guel has maintained its dominance as the largest oil marketing company by end of October 2024, despite recording some drop in product supply. Guel is followed closely by Star Oil. This is according to the Petroleum Volumes and Analysis report released by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Here's more.
According to the report, leading OMCs such as Guel PLC and Star Oil maintained dominance, while new players like Sema Oil and Desert Oil demonstrated remarkable growth in market share, with volume increases exceeding 50 million litres in some cases. LPG usage grew by 6.61%, driven by household and industrial adoption, with increases in the northern and western regions. Guel experienced an overall decrease in volume by negative 14.48% for January to October 2024 compared to 2023. Desert Oil experienced a significant overall increase in volume by 18.33% from January to October of 2024 compared to 2023. National consumption for January to October 2024 was 5,295 million litres, marking a notable 17.37% increase from the 4,511 million litres recorded in 2023. The analysis of petroleum volumes from January to October 2023 versus 2024 reveals transformative trends in Ghana's downstream petroleum sector, with significant implications for the nation's energy landscape. The overall consumption growth of 17.37% highlights increasing energy demands driven by economic and industrial activity.
That was a business desk report. Well, let's turn to Investor Eye today. Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opong, emphasizes the need for citizens to report fraudulent mobile money cases to enable the appropriate authorities act accordingly. Take a listen.
One of the cultural issues I was highlighting, the cultural dynamics there, people never follow through. And this makes it very difficult for us to fully be able to hold people accountable. And they go out there and defraud the next victim. You have to save not just yourself, but you have an obligation to speak up so that someone else may be saved from these same fraudsters.
And I was head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opong. Before we go, let's take a look at the markets. This morning on the commodity market, crude oil selling at $76 a barrel. Gold lost marginally to open trading at $2,658 an ounce. Cocoa open trading at $10,453 a ton after losing more than $700. So got back to the 10,000 mark. Also, on the currency market, the dollar going for 15 cedis, 47 pesos. That's what some forex bureaus are offering their clients. The British pound, 19 cedis, 30 pesos. The euro going for 16 cedis, 15 pesos. The commercial bank selling the dollar at 14 cedis, 65 pesos. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Powell. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Yankson and the team. Hey Kojo, well, while we talk about the rampaging youth, NDC youth, what they are doing around, well, I'm told the president addressed this last night at a dinner, so he's not silent about it.
Yeah, but it's going to take more than words. Yeah, addressing it simply means he's aware of it.
He's aware of it.
Yeah, but what's he going to do about
action.
it?
Yeah.
What's he going to do about it? That's what we are awaiting. And for somebody who wants us to believe in his conviction to absolutely not repeat some of the ills of the past 8 years, he cannot afford to get this wrong.
Yeah.
These people insist that they are doing this nonsense in his name, and he does not want them to do it. So he'd better stop it. Now he has the power to do so. Yeah.
All right
then. So here we go. They picked something by Brayland featuring Thomas Ratt. What an unfortunate surname.
Who?
Thomas Ratt. Brayland featuring Thomas Ratt. And the song is called Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
And they say this is the one. People love it, pa. So you and I, we will love it too.
Praise the Lord. Is it the Praise the Lord I know? All right.
Let's find out.
Praise the Lord for Southern women. Hear me, Angie.
Yeah, Praise the Lord by Brayland featuring Thomas Ratt. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Samuel Adami wanted the people to know that he's the one playing the song.
Yeah.
So he do something so that I'll mention his name, so that it becomes an issue.
He has achieved his goal.
True.
Hello, Ray.
True. How are you doing?
That's a nice color on you.
Yes, my dear brother. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
My brother in Christ. Yes.
Yes, every day we must remind you that you've moved from other to Christian.
Yes.
And it's only a way
Professor Nim should take note.
It's only a way of reminding you that you cannot go back to other.
I am
until next 10 years.
I am
forever.
I am in Christ. I'm waiting for you traditionalists to join me.
Oh, but is that what you have reached?
But traditionalists are not other.
Yes.
So now that you have moved from other, at least now we can identify you properly.
Yes.
Okay.
Other is also an identity.
No, we cannot identify you properly. At least we know of traditionalists. We know of Muslims. We know of Christians. The other, Why? Are you a Buddhist? Are you a Hare Krishna? Are you into Sikhism? Are you into Shintoism? Why?
This is some sort of heaven discrimination. I don't understand. This
No,
has always been a Christian.
they'll come and meet you.
Yes.
You open the gates for them.
I'll be the one taking passport pictures for ID cards.
Listen, we don't judge. This is a very relevant question about religious affiliation for statistical
Did you say we listen, we don't judge?
Yes. So we are saying just identify. Let's know how to group you for the next census, and it's an important categorization anyway. But I'm happy, and since he became Christian, he wears the crucifix too, which is very progressive.
It was a Christmas gift.
I see. Very thoughtful one.
Very, very thoughtful indeed.
Yes.
Thank you, Bam Bam.
All right.
Let's move on.
Now, the Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance. Solid protection.
All right. And what's the tip?
The tip this morning is that make sure you leave home early. If you live where Mama V lives, it is imperative that you don't give excuses. Leave home early. The traffic situation is gradually building back into main action. So you don't have excuses.
Yes, the holidays are over.
Yes, the holidays are over. And there are some places that you live that you think you are very close to work to, but there are traffic spots. For example, in my case, the Achimota school place, hook or crook. If you then make a mistake and you step out a few minutes, 6 o'clock, you will be there for more than 30 minutes.
Ooh.
No matter what.
This is around the golf course.
Yes. There is some extraordinary traffic. If there is an interchange needed somewhere, I think they should put one there too. It will help, really. But it means that all the pressure from the surrounding areas come through that end, because the alternative is not a very good one.
Yeah.
So you surely have to leave early so that you avoid the pressure of having to cut corners, abuse laws of this country in a way that would make you culpable. Yes.
We have the in Sawam Traffic Watchers platform.
Okay.
And sometimes I forget to look at it. To look at the WhatsApp platform before I leave. But it's always good that you do. No, but I mean, it's for those of us on the stretch.
Because Raymond has always said you live in the eastern region.
No, I don't live in. I don't live in Sawam. I live in the Greater Accra region.
Really?
Yeah, my constituency is Greater Accra. It's the Amasama constituency.
Greater Accra is not a constituency.
No, I said it's in the Greater Accra region.
It's not in Swamadoji.
But what? No, it is not. But what if? If I were in Zaram, it would be the same thing, right?
No, because I'm always worried about the number of hours you have to spend on the road to get here.
I don't spend hours.
And its impact on your mental health.
After work, it takes me about 40-45 minutes to get home.
Really? I mean, you mean after work at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Can you try 5 p.m. and let's see whether it works the same way?
No, it will not work the same way.
It's important that it's time.
But mine is better than somebody who's coming from the Pram stretch.
I agree
or
with
sometimes
you.
Or Yarifa.
No,
yeah,
yes.
Or Yarifa, it's not sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's also a very terrible stretch.
Or even a Bokobi.
I'll get here before you.
If we leave at the same time,
yes,
I will get here before you.
No.
I don't even understand this debate too.
Let's learn how to say it right.
You are fighting for superiority in terms of who has a shorter distance to travel to work.
No. You see, they say that in prison, it is the comparison of conditions that makes the prisoner enjoy the stay.
Let's learn how to say it right.
Okay, let's move on with that. Okay, and it's brought to us this morning by
Kingdom Books. At Kingdom Quality and Affordability, their hallmark, Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
May I please have your attention for a quick lesson in pronunciation. How would you say this word? A-N-I-M-A-L. I'll give you a hint. It's not animal, and it is definitely not animal. It's animal. The second A is silent. Animal comes from the Latin word anima, which means breath. Strangely, the second A was not silent back in the Latin days. It later evolved into animalis, which means having breath or having life. That is the origin of the word animate, which means to give life to a lifeless object or image. So, for the love of God, please do not say animal. Say it right. Say animal. Thank you for your cooperation.
So there you go. You've been warned. It's not animal.
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 Or
animal. Not animal.
Animal.
The second A is silent.
Animal.
All
right.
You're welcome.
You want to try it?
No, coming from the man.
Coming from which man? Anyway, the news review now brought to you.
Good morning to Professor Adivers.
Jenning Meng. That's right. Anyway, the news review now brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and Access Bank, more than banking.
The biggest stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic are the President revokes MMDC's appointments, and this also includes the people who are appointed to the various assemblies. So it's not just the bosses.
Everybody.
Some are elected, others are appointed. That appointment group is also revoked, so that new people may be appointed to it. Now, Ghana misses inflation, and we were saying here yesterday that during Minister time, he gave them a certain period to stay on until they hear from him. But Mahama has quickly revoked the appointment.
Do you wonder whether this might be in response to what Afenyo Markin was saying in Efutu? Did you see that video? Afenyo Markin was talking to his people in Efutu, and he was insisting that as for Efutu, it is run by the NPP.
True.
And the MCAs, MPP, all that.
The presiding officer who is largely in charge.
They are all in NPP. So
and the assembly members,
yes,
who were not voted for on partisan basis, they are MPP.
They are all MPP. So he was sending out a signal to President Mahama to leave them in place, so that they will run Efutu.
Well, the thing about, in 2017, around the 11th of January or so, then the president's representative at the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Haji Alimatu Mahama, issued a similar letter. Alexander Afenyo Markin himself was a presiding member during an NDC administration. Look, and we've had people who belong to another political party becoming presiding members, because it's not always the case that you have the 2/3 majority.
True. So
if, for instance, the government realizes that in the Efutu Municipal Assembly, about 80% of the assembly members, elected assembly members, support an NPP candidate, in order to let it go, they can reach a consensus and say, okay, you have it. So, I know somebody who was presiding member in the whole municipal assembly who had contested on the ticket of the NDC to become the NDC's parliamentary candidate. And during an NPP administration, he was presiding member. Sometimes it may not necessarily be from that political party. But this is more like Professor Mills, at the time actually had indicated that even regional ministers should be in their bungalows for the next 3 months before they leave. That was under Tamils. Akufo-Addo, by January, MMDCs were out of office. So I've heard people say, no more father for all. But really, look, the MMDCs, I have indicated, so long as we appoint them, they do really nothing. They just go there to serve their party's interest and serve the constituency chairman's interest, because the belief is that if they do not, dance to his whims and caprices, he could probably get the president to get them out of office. I say that we've had enough of presidents appointing as, municipal and district chief executives. They should be elected so that we can hold them accountable. How, in God's name, can you start construction of Abokobi Terman Road before election 2024? On the 7th of December, they stopped work. The contractor hasn't returned to work up to today. 7th of December, when they stopped.
For the festivities.
Yeah, which festivities? The moment the elections were
held, just an excuse.
He didn't show up again. The roads that they did from Abokobi to Oyarefa Junction, South Pitton, so the roads are bad again. It was done at the end of November. Go and check it. How? But that person who did that, supervised that, knows that it's business as usual.
And somebody will be paid for that.
Yeah.
somebody who's going to be
No
paid
accountability
with that money for it. Anyway, no, but it's our local government system it's a joke. We just pretend it exists as a functional unit, but it's a complete joke. It undermines our development in most forms.
I just pray that at least now that the NDC has absolute majority, they would change it so we can elect. You see, political parties in opposition talk about the need to elect, they get into office, and then they forget, because once they get into office, it suits them.
Yeah, the politics become more important.
Yeah, they look at it and they say, oh, okay, let us use this to, sort out those who probably may have wanted to be MPs, those who may have wanted to get something, they didn't get it, so we give them DCE, MCE, and that's the end of the game. Enough.
I think that's why people find the election of President John Mahama refreshing, and the fact that he's got only 4 years. So these are some of the things that we expect him to do. Exactly. Let's lock it down once and for all.
Let's manage our expectations. Yo.
Oh, these ones are not huge, Bia. I mean, everybody's calling for it.
Yo.
Now, Ghana misses inflation target. December rate inches up to 23.8%. It has the picture of Professor Samuel Kobina Enim, government statistician. I think John Dramani Mahama should keep this man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I actually think that...
The government statistician?
Yes. I think... Yeah. I mean, see, he was appointed under the previous government. But if there is a man who's done his work dispassionately and without partisan undertones, he is one of the few. Sometimes you are not even sure whether the government agrees with the reports that they issue sometimes. And they are ones that we should all learn from. That others should have equally done so. The fact that you are appointed by a government does not mean. So I will be exceedingly worried if he is replaced.
Yeah.
Because I feel it will not be progressive. I don't know about the deputies, but he really is a different breed.
But he's obviously working with a certain team.
I would hope and pray that for however long he is able to work, we will have him work for us as a government statistician.
True.
Because, you see, the real value of, Prof. Enim and his team is the way they look at what the country needs. Then they go and find the data to help the country make the decisions in that particular area. They are always doing relevant work. Relevant work. And I can't stress enough, if indeed we have finally ended up with a president who wants to get things right, then he needs...
But you see...
You remember when our coverage of the elections, we were always looking for the poverty levels in the constituencies, and they were so alarming. That data came from the statistical service.
Look, Mama V, the other thing is that he must not just be kept, but his research and the data he provides must be used.
Exactly.
Because if we had used the data the man had provided, I tell you,
to make lives better,
we would not be where we are.
Yeah.
This is someone who can tell you your imports, for instance, okay? What you import, where you import it from, your exports, what you export, and he can actually tell you how your imports are contributing to inflation. We know, for instance, the tomatoes and all the things that we bring into the country. But unfortunately, it's only in Ghana that we have data, and the data is never used in dealing with the problems.
Yeah, and even the decision makers appear, even though they're also government people, though, they appear very far from the data. It's like you're not sure where they get their own information from. Yeah, anyway, but...
Listen, you know what?
Yeah, but that's a good call.
The region with the highest number, the highest inflationary rate is Upper East.
Okay.
40.6. The lowest is Eastern region with 16.8. But inflation went up to 23.8, almost 24%. Anyway, before Kojo, I move on. There is another story in the Daily Graphic. SNIT favors poor in new pension adjustment. Ghana's highest earning pensioner will receive 201,000, while the lowest pensioner takes home 396.58, following a new benefits adjustment announced by SNIT for 2025. Kofi Osafo-Malfo is Director General. I do not have any support for his continuous stay in office. Anyway.
You know what we should probably do tomorrow? Or, soon, before the president finalizes his decisions. We should have a conversation where we get the audience to give us their suggestions for some of the ministerial portfolios. I think it will be interesting. Let's see what the people are expecting, and then we can put it alongside what the president's vision is once he makes his announcements, and see if they align.
Well, the president may submit a list to Parliament today.
We're looking forward to it, really.
May submit a list to Parliament today or tomorrow.
Is it within the 14 days?
Yeah, still within the 14 days. And already there's a lot of, lobbying here and there. Who becomes...
People are still lobbying.
Oh,
as
yes.
you can imagine.
Yes, people are still lobbying.
But the guy had a list in his pocket when he was campaigning. He kept on telling us that he would put together the youngest cabinet. So obviously he knew the people.
Look, but you see, this is the point. People probably would want to go to a particular ministry. The president may want you in another ministry. So and another person is somewhere who's penciled for another ministry but wants your ministry. And so the lobbying is ongoing.
There will be some privileged persons like that, and I get the sense that Atu Forson will be one of those. Remember when the president
finance minister
referred to him as minority or majority leader when he met now former president, and then he I guess he realized what he had done, and he said, "Oh, by the way, when we come in, I don't know where he would be."
There's a new and interesting method by which people are lobbying. Did you see Good Evening Ghana's Facebook post? They put up a post with the images of some people and said, when will a president appoint these people into government? And it included Bright Simmons.
Yeah. But I know Bright's not lobbying for anything.
Yawan Sako. Yes.
But you put in another person.
If you look closely, you see that there is one person in there who is lobbying, and all the others who have been added to
I'm not like him.
I'm not going
interested in anything.
We expect Yawan Sako to do what he's doing.
Yes,
we expect him to do what he's doing.
We still need the critical thinkers.
No, with respect.
So it's not him. There are about 4 people in the picture. You just go and look at
Let me go and check.
John Dramani Mahama should have
the one lobbying.
Osako. No. I think I see. And
to where?
Even ideologically.
To which ministry or agency?
Even ideologically. Osako is at the core. You can see socialist tendencies. So, if for nothing at all, he will think in what your party advertises as the ideological leading of your party.
We expect him to be
he's
where
a brilliant brain. I'm expecting that we put people like that together. He's also not the people who matter yes and matter to everything you say,
which is probably why he would never be considered. But you get the point. People like Yawan Sako and Bryce Simmons are never going to come and ask you. They even put this celebrated, revered lawyer, Phyllis Marie Christian, PMC. They put her picture there as well. I mean, these people are never going to come and ask you for political appointment.
Okay. How could you have removed the other people? Then we know the person you're talking about.
I mean, you haven't said
so you've seen the post. All right, let's look at the Economy Times. It says President Mahama shows business community promising days ahead. Foreign remittance can stop Ghana borrowing if properly tracked. That's a finance expert who's admonished the John Mahama administration to pay attention to the foreign remittance sector. Dr. Richmond Chiahene notes that foreign remittance sector is very huge, which can end Ghana's cyclical ritual of seeking relief from the International Monetary Fund and other multilaterals. All right, 63.13 billion Ghana cedis approved for new government to spend in first quarter of 2025. Another front page headline.
All right, I think this means we can do the online review now, brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, and Goyle Good Energy, Goyle Yenara Yendia, on myjoyonline.com this morning. Free SHS. Let your wards come to school with food, Chas tells parents. Well, at first they said, don't let them come, don't open, because we are not ready. Now they say bring food.
Which is good, they're opening up. People can help.
Now they can tell people to come to school. Now
they
have the balls to speak about food in this country.
We'll come back and talk about this. You people are being very, very... All right. BBC News now. Brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. And Old Mutual. 10 years of greatness in Ghana. Here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuels. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Who feel ya? Huh? Who feel? Good energy. Yeah,
The festive season is here. You know what that means. Groceries, bills, and so many unplanned expenses. But don't panic. There's a cool new feature on Haptel you have to know about. It's called Pay Small Small. Yes, like the name says, Pay Small Small. It's Ghana's first widely and instantly available buy now, Pay Small Small service. With Pay Small Small, you can buy food, groceries, airtime, and pay all your bills without paying the full amount upfront. So this festive season, you're sorted. Pay a small fraction of what you're buying now and spread the rest into 3 weekly payments. All you need is your Ghana card to activate it and you're set. It's the perfect solution to keep your pockets in check this festive season and beyond. So don't wait. Go to your Haptel app now and choose Pay Small Small as your payment option. Haptel is everything you.
Yafinia gave us the vibe. Now, Inshona Chile makes you thrive.
Yes, so it's time to enjoy, Charlie. Buy or renew your motor insurance and boom! Free fuel coupons and airtime for your sweat. Who don't like enjoyment?
From January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance gives you more reasons to smile on the road. Insure today and enjoy free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone.
Free fuel? Airtime too? Hey! Enterprise Insurance, always your advantage.
Inshona Chile. It's simple. Insure and enjoy. Ready to secure your peace of mind and experience the fastest claims payment? Visit any of our branches or agency outlets nationwide. Connect with your insurance broker or enjoy the convenience of buying your insurance online through the Enterprise Advantage app today. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
21 GMT. At 8:30 GMT, Business Daily.
We're diving into the global tug-of-war over trade in South America between the US and China and how it's playing out over a new megaport in Peru. We'll hear from experts on how it's changing lives and what it means for a region caught between two global superpowers.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello there and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with James Cocknell and Victoria Wonghunda. Great to have you with us.
The fires in Los Angeles continue to rage as they expand. They have now spread to an iconic location, Hollywood Hills.
And the smoke was invading our lungs, and at that point we just figured there was nothing we can do, and we drove out of there as fast as we could, watching every tree in the neighborhood engulfed in flames.
We'll be speaking to the former Foreign Minister of Greenland. What's his view on Donald Trump's suggestion that the US buy his homeland?
Gunmen have attempted to storm the presidential complex in Chad. We'll get the latest.
And I'm Nishat Ladar in sport. An historic night at Tottenham where an in-stadium VAR announcement is made for the first time in English football.
All that and more, but first, the very latest BBC World News.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Rapidly spreading wildfires in Los Angeles that have killed 5 people and forced the evacuation of more than 100,000 are now threatening major landmarks in Hollywood. The flames have been difficult to tackle due to high winds and dry conditions. The BBC's Helena Humphreys is in Hollywood.
The LA Fire Department have had to say that they are stretched to their absolute maximum. They've said they just don't have enough manpower here. Other fire crews are coming in from the likes of Oregon, Washington State, Nevada, for example, Arizona as well. Also, we've had civilian planes going up. They've been taking water from the Pacific, dumping it on affected areas. But because you've got that choking smoke and because you've got those high winds, there's been significant turbulence. We now know, of course, as well, that the Department of Defense is sending military aircraft, and what they have been deploying and will continue to do so.
President Biden has cancelled a trip to Italy in what should have been the last of his presidency to focus on the response to the fires. The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is hosting President Zelensky and European defense ministers at a U.S. airbase in Germany today to discuss military support for Ukraine. The Ramstein conference was established in the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion. Sarah Rainsford has more from Kyiv.
The US is expected to announce another substantial package of aid as the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin stresses that American leadership in supporting Kyiv is critical and should go on. But Donald Trump's reluctance to continue spending on Ukraine and his plans to push for a quick peace deal are well known. President Volodymyr Zelensky is heading to Ramstein, stressing that Ukraine itself wants peace. But until a just and a lasting deal can be done with Moscow, he also needs urgent and ongoing help to protect his country.
Sarah Rainsford reporting. A former security guard at the luxury Harrods store in London has told the BBC he saw racism and bullying at the department store during Mohammed Al Fayed's ownership. The late Egyptian businessman has been accused of assault or rape by 20 women. Claire MacDonald has this report.
The former security guard, who we are calling Henry to protect his identity, told us that many black members of staff at Harrods would leave the shop floor before Mohammed Al Fayed's daily tours. Henry described workers who didn't fit a certain look, leaving the building via an underground passageway to an office across the road, and only filed back in once Mohammed Al Fayed had gone. Other former members of staff have corroborated the security guard's claims about racism. Harrods also said it was determined to ensure such behaviour could never be repeated.
World News from the BBC. The Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has appealed to people to join a planned large-scale protest on Thursday ahead of Friday's inauguration of President Nicolás Maduro for a highly contested third term. Amid reports of a wave of detentions, Ms. Machado said opposition supporters should not be afraid. She's been in hiding since July's disputed election. The opposition presidential candidate Edmundo González is also in exile. Large numbers of security have been deployed in the capital, Caracas. The U.S. Special Envoy for Sudan has defended Washington's imposition of sanctions on General Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, also known as Hemeti, the leader of the Sudanese paramilitary group, the RSF. Tom Perriello told the BBC the militia was committing genocide.
We've not only seen no curbing of these horrific abuses against the Sudanese people, we've seen just in the last month bombing of civilian displaced person camps. Tens of millions of Sudanese have to flee their homes into more increasingly vulnerable positions. So it is true, we have been sanctioning members of the RSF moving up the command structure, and Hemeti represents the top of that command authority.
Australia is the latest country to raise concerns over the tech giant Meta scrapping its fact-checking operations on Facebook and Instagram. The finance minister said social media sites had a social responsibility they should fulfill. Australia has been a leading voice in attempts to regulate social media platforms. Britain's Foreign Secretary is today announcing plans for new sanctions on people smuggling gangs in an attempt to hinder illegal migration. It'll see asset freezes and travel bans imposed on gang members and firms complicit in their operations, including helping them to store kit or invest profits. The move is said to be the first in the world. BBC News.
Have you ever thought one click could expose your data, or a simple message could drain money from your Momo account? In today's digital age, information is power, and protecting it is essential. At Academic City, our MSc in cybersecurity equips you to code, shield, and excel, providing the expertise to protect data and defend against cyber threats. Apply now for our January 2025 intake. Visit act.edu.gh or call 0262 693870 to secure your future. Academic City, educating future-ready leaders.
After a long flight, Safari Homes gives you the peace to unwind. A short drive from the airport, convenient for all. For nature lovers, Safari Valley Resort is a hidden gem, surrounded by lush greenery and luxury amenities. A place where you can truly escape. Now for water adventure, Aqua Safari Resort has it all. Jet skis, canoe rides, kayaking, and a visit to the estuary. And for more excitement, Safari Eco Park is the perfect place to get closer to some amazing animals.
Visit Safari World in Ghana, together bringing you closer to nature.
What if we told you that your next adventure is just a tap away? That's right. With Republic Bank Visa Credit Card, it's your time to win a staycation at some of Ghana's luxury beach resorts, 5-course dinner, a full-day spa service, or the ultimate, an all-expense paid trip to Dubai, the city of gold. Every tap brings you closer to winning in the Tap Win and Fly with Republic Bank promo. Whether it's Infinite, Adishi, or Classic Credit Card, just keep tapping to win. New customers are welcome. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Wake up, good morning, good morning.
Something new.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how rough riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how rough riders roll.
Snitches wanna try, snitches wanna lie, the snitches wonder why, snitches wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. I cannot maintain with badness on my brain. I resort to violence, my killers move in silence. Like you don't know what our style is, New York killers are wild. My dogs is with it, you want it, come and get it. Took it, then we split it, damn right we did it. What the F you gon' do when we run up on you? Messing with the wrong crew, don't know what we going through. I'ma have to show how easily we blow. When we find out there's some more that's running with Joe, nothing we can't handle. Break it up and dismantle, light it up like a candle. Just cause I can't stand you, put my on tapes like you busting grapes. Think you holding weight and you haven't met the apes.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how rough riders roll. Stop.
What, Raymond? What?
DMX.
What? Yeah.
Man, we know DMX, right?
X, God give it to you.
I just want you to note
For
that
real?
rhythms A to Z. Yes. I wanted it on record.
Please.
But that's such a long time. I mean, yeah.
Mama B discovered DMX. What are you talking about?
Yes. When she was 35.
She introduced DMX to Ghanaian,
in 92.
Radio. Yes.
Yeah.
She was a country,
Mama, do you know
country manager.
You know Samuel Kweku?
Sounds familiar.
Ghana's version of DMX.
Oh.
No, you can check on Samuel Kweku. He was remixing DMX's songs.
The way you
give it the way you touch.
The way you do some of these things is very, very unfortunate. Or Samuel Kweku.
I mean, the way he's that. You after the destination, I'll play all Samuel. Okay, I get that. Now I know. Ghana's version of DMX. We don't know.
Don't play any Osama
Kweku.
Today on the Super Morning Show.
I do not have anything apart from rice, breakfast, lunch, and supper, and that is true for almost all the schools in Upper West and in Upper East. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. They say that apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize. You cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my metro, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still out of the blues. And the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire needs. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned.
Also, yesterday was the first business day for the new parliament.
I know that the term I used was not taken kindly by the minority caucus. And so I acknowledge that. And I decided that it will not be used officially. The Right Honourable Speaker will not use the term micro-minority at all in reference to the minority caucus. Today, we will not use a term that is not edifying. So I will not use it. I will not use it. I say I won't use it. Please. That is what I'm doing.
Leave a dog alone. We had this chant, in Augusco, where we went to Intercol. We'll be teasing our opponents. Utiso, Kebi Chene. Utiso na Kebi Chene na meka we ya na mayo. Meka micro minority na mayo.
But the import of what he was saying, he will protect the minority. Essentially, that was what he was saying. But that was it's the micro, no? It's the micro, no?
It's the micro, no? In fact, you can't really refer to any aspect of a man as micro. He will not take it kindly. You know that. You don't play such games.
Anyway, this is a group.
But it's factual, isn't it?
Still.
No, it's not factual. No. There's nothing factual.
There's no such thing. They are a minority. Simple. And they were micro minority.
No, I think he was talking about the numbers.
If he said pico.
No, maybe there's nothing.
I'm using negative 3. So negative 3,
there's nothing
negative
factual
12
about minority group and majority group.
This minority is unusual. I guess that's the whole thing.
Yeah, so, but the
number is
Bagwin was teasing. I know he was.
Said the caucus numbers are micro.
He was teasing, but the fact is that you
to the power -3.
You refer to them as minority or majority.
I agree on the floor.
See,
yes,
especially in light of the fact that this minority is hoping that Bagbin's sort of central line towing will work to their benefit, so that they will still have a voice.
Actually, that's the point he was making.
Yes, and then they hear the person they are relying on for that fairness calling them.
But they shouldn't capitalize on these. These are petty stuff.
I don't think that. See, the speaker was just saying that. He was saying that it is part of his responsibility to protect the
minority, and then he said
they use the word.
Yeah.
So they shall look at the bigger the operative word there.
And
it's I'll protect.
This has become the issue, really.
So as for Afenyo Makin, don't call him the wrong thing. Don't give him the wrong name. If you want peace. Anyway, speaking of calling things the wrong thing, this happened yesterday.
Regarding the Intra symbol, as you said, I kept hearing gentlemen. And I said, what sort of language are these people speaking? It is Gaini. Gaini is the ram, that is the he-goat. Yeah, and Nimeng are the horns. You see the way they are curled, those goats that are brought from the north, from Mali, from Burkina Faso, etc. The horns are coiled, and it has the significance of strength, and that is what is in the University of Ghana symbol also, together with the Namibia.
Right.
Yeah. So that's it. It's the ram's horns.
And that's how you say it right.
Gentleman. Sounds like gentleman.
Gentleman. Anyway, so now we know, right? And thanks so much to Professor Ivan Adai Mensah for that intervention.
Should have charged you.
He should have. I would have happily paid. Anyway, look, here's what we're doing today. We certainly want to hear from you. We're talking about Chas's call on parents to send their kids to school with food.
Hey!
Free SHS, innit?
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy, 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 joy in the morning. Yeah. If you're turning on your radio, go for some joy in the morning. On the super morning show. Welcome to the Joy Super Morning Show.
All right, if you're wondering where to hold your strategy planning meetings, your board sessions, your staff retreats, there's only one venue, and it's the Safari Valley Resort. Think of the green, serene environment, the accessibility, the meeting room capacity, the flow and layout of space, the room flexibility, the quality of equipment, the staff, and the first-class catering services. It's really got to be Safari Valley Resort as your first choice. Call them on 0596 914 394. Safari Valley, bringing you closer to nature.
And from the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we're here for your journey. Every goal deserves a chance to flourish. And with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. So, trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We are here for your journey. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
Marvi, have you thought of the ideal New Year present? Ideal one.
It's got to be a tank, man.
Yes, because water is important. You probably didn't choose rice.
Not everything is the stomach.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
But water is also for the stomach.
Well, that's why I was wondering why you're saying that.
But water is life.
So make Syntax as the perfect present in our homes this New Year. Gift Syntax has to your family. Give it to your people. Let them access clean water. It's not just for the festivities, it's actually for a lifetime. No matter where you are in the country, just call 0244 335 168 and they'll make it happen big time. Don't make it just rice, okay? Oil also is important, but man shall not live by bread alone. Make it Syntax tank.
Mama B doesn't believe in that.
No. yes. Mama B says the operative understanding of that is man shall live by bread first.
You
could say not alone.
And then you add other.
Yes.
I protect you when these two are doing your top right now. You're telling it to me.
Why are you doing
Man must not live by bread alone.
So
bread should be part.
Yes.
Anyway, Mama V, I'm sure this is something you would love.
Yes.
And so Total Energies is giving you an opportunity, okay, to enjoy the Bronya Lube special, of course.
You should see my car. I'm taking it to the
take it, because from now to the 31st of January, swing by Liberation Road, Tessano, Dacoman Link Road, Sakumono, Farah Avenue, Oxford Street, Community 1 Stadium, and Apremdo Total Energy Service Stations. Change your engine oil. Get a free elite car wash to keep your ride sparkling. It's like giving your car a holiday makeover. So while preparing to hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready for the festivities. For more details and updates, visit their website, totalenergiesgh.com. Follow them on social media, Facebook, Total Energies Ghana, X, Total Energies GH, on Instagram, Total Energies GH.
Okay, well, I tell you what, if you're wondering where to hold your strategy planning meetings, your board sessions, your staff retreats, there really is only one venue, and it's Safari Valley Resort. But if you've already been there, then you should try out their sister resort.
Change your style.
Indeed, which is Aqua Safari. Now, you know, conferencing doesn't have to be the same boring routine. The location of your next conference can be both result-centered and relaxing. Aqua Safari Resort gives you the best of both worlds and more. So let them take the stress out of the process. Just call them on 054-011-0190 and watch your conferences and events effortlessly taken care of.
All right, and it's that special time of the year. We just want to say thank you to all our cherished customers for choosing us. From all of us at Omni Basic Bank, we wish you a prosperous new year. You can reach our 24-hour contact center on 0307 08 6000 or 0302 758 555, or call the toll-free number, which is 0800 100 790. Afishapa from Omni Basic Bank at your service.
Now, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is still organizing its furniture promotional sales and still on. Kingdom Books and Stationery is giving away up to 15% discount on all furniture at their furniture shops. So if you are in Tema, go straight to the Community 4. Now, if you are the head office at Akwaje, is where you really want to go to. And in Takra, Mama, you know Market Circle, right?
Of course.
That's where you get it. And the University Bookshop in Cape Coast is where you go to. Now, if you want this in Spintex, you go straight to their office is near the APSA place. The Center Point Mall is where you get the Atomic. And when it comes to Winneba, is the University Campus. In Kumasi, you talk about either KNUST or Santasi. You can also shop online, and that's very convenient. KingdomStoreOnline.com is where you go and check out the stock that's currently there. For further inquiries, contact them at the following numbers: 0501 620 810 or 0302 764 101, or send them an email at info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
And Imperial brings you the Asempa Motor promo from now till the 30th of April. Win big with Imperial General with the Asempa Motor promo. Yes, it's good news. Renew your existing policy or sign up to motor insurance policy from Imperial General and win handsome rewards. Yes, it's instant. Just ensure and pick your rewards, fuel coupons, gift vouchers, special souvenirs, and many more. Imperial's just made your renewal process simple. Just click on the link in the renewal notification message from Imperial and follow the prompt, and bingo, your renewal is done. And here's a big deal: Imperial is also giving you a free 1-year life insurance as part of your motor insurance. So get it double from Imperial General. Call us today on 0577 667 436 or talk to your broker or any of our agents across the country for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
All right, well, we've got some solid messages from our partners, and after that, sports, birthdays, and food for thought on the Super Morning Show.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret?
He said, "It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all."
Shout! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. Picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more. With Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans, you can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right, we are not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 050-153-5789, 050-153-5790, 0244-674154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
When you hear that sound, it can only mean one thing. It's the sound of excitement, the sound of milky goodness. It's the unmistakable sound of rich, creamy deliciousness. The sound that lets you know that the original milky richness awaits. The milky richness you can find in every bite of Munchy Milk Shortcake.
With its unique blend of milky richness and carefully selected ingredients, Munchy Milk Shortcake is crafted from an original age-old recipe to delight your taste buds. If you're looking for pure satisfaction and the authentic taste of original milky richness, it's time to grab a pack of your favorite biscuit, Munchy Milk Shortcake, today.
This advert is FDA approved.
All right, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. All right, couple of birthdays to this morning.
Okay, so this one says happy birthday to Nanekia Sari of the Risk Department of Deloitte. It's from your country managing partner Daniel Kweju Owusu and all staff. Happy 70th birthday to Mrs. Victoria Ampa, formerly of the Trust Hospital Osu, a parishioner at the Christ the King Catholic Church and popularly known as Auntie Vic. God richly bless you on this milestone celebration. Age gracefully in good health and prosperities from your children, in-laws, the Ansong and Ampa families. Enjoy the day, they say.
Happy birthday to Besua Hammond of the African Development Bank in Abidjan. Congratulations to Besua. Happy birthday to you.
Today is my younger brother's birthday. So yes, Dennis Kwame Namwa. Happy birthday to you.
You do party for him.
Well, that's what he will decide.
You are doing party for the man.
I'm doing the party for him.
Yeah,
but I need his permission. I need his permission to do
surprises
a party.
Are there?
Oh no! No! I'm not doing a surprise party for him.
So happy day, Kwame. Now party the Amaso.
Oh no! Why does he want? Why should I do a party for him? So from all of us from the whole.
You're talking to an accountant.
Happy birthday to Piodam Adamba, to Emmanuel Amponsa, to Jerry Tamaklo. Oh, Jerry Tamaklo. Priscilla Bedu, Inshira Irajwa, Fredi Ajiman Boating, Manuel Nana Kwejo, and Augustina Mabana Akoto Dako. Not forgetting John Danfo, Eno Japoma, Nana Tamia, all of them celebrating their birthdays today. Okay. Right then, the Joy Sports Center is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. And if it's football you want, DSTV has got it all. Yes, all the leagues, all the cups, all the matches live in HD. This season promises to be exciting. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
And have you thought about what true convenience means? Well, let's keep it simple. Convenience is finding easy solutions to everyday hassles. And speaking of easy solutions, have you heard about M-Care from MTN and MedPharma? That's convenient healthcare for everyone. Let's face it, being sick is no fun, and neither is waiting in long queues for healthcare. But with M-Care, all that hassle disappears. With the silver and gold packages, you get to choose between 10 or 161 Ghana cedis per month and enjoy access to a doctor anytime, anywhere, and an efficient e-pharmacy with medication delivered to your doorstep. And guess what? It comes with life insurance cover for hospitalization and death, and health insurance depending on your package. Unbelievable, right? Now I ask, what's more convenient than this? Download the MedPharma app to sign up to the silver or gold package today.
All right, as the new year begins, it's essential to take the right steps towards achieving financial stability. The start of a new year is the perfect opportunity to set your financial goals and start on the right path. And inputs from a professional can make the difference. At Standard Chartered Wealth Management Limited Company, you have access to a wide range of investment options that offer you monthly and half-yearly interest payments through diversified investment portfolios. So call us on 0233 000041. That's 023 30,041 or 0200 127755, or visit us on the 4th floor of the Opebia House, Airport Accra today and speak with our certified investment advisors on what options suit your financial objectives and risk appetite. Standard Chartered, here for good. Victor, Achu Tamaklo.
Here for sports, Mama. Good
Money.
How you doing?
I'm good, you?
I'm great. I'm sure you enjoyed that Liverpool defeats last night.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
You know my favorite part of that defeat? Was the fact that there was a refereeing mistake. You know, the decision not to show Beckville a second yellow card.
Yeah.
And then he stayed on the pitch to go and score the second goal.
Yeah,
like
but there's another leg of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that will be Liverpool's
at
home.
Anfield, yes, at Anfield.
Now that's the danger.
Yeah. No, but a win is a win. We'll take this one. So we've got that coming up today because last night Tottenham Hotspur did this.
Pedro Porro. Solanke making that run again. It's swerving away from Kanata. Solanke holds it up, has his help, and there it is! Berryville arrives! And Spurs lead the tie!
Tottenham Hotspur ending Liverpool's 24-match unbeaten run, but not without controversy in the League Cup semi-final. Firstly, we've also got details on Mohamed Kudus, who's now got a new manager at West Ham United following the club's decision to sack Julian Lopetegui yesterday and bring in a former Chelsea manager. We'll put a name to that as the show progresses. But having been sworn in as president of Ghana for the next 4 years, John Dramani Mahama faces a challenge of revitalizing the nation's sports sector. Now, to enable Ghana to compete strongly at international competitions, there's a need for proper scouting of talent and construction of facilities for the goal to be realized. As Joy Sports editor Fentio Tahiru Fentio with more on the school sports system and how it could be key to unearthing many talents.
I think that they should really consider partnering secondary schools across the country to set up what I would like to call right to dreams across all 16 regions. And you don't need to set up a whole new school, build a whole new school. No, you just need to identify one secondary school and convert it into a school of sports development. And that way, then you can just build adjoining facilities. So they already have a football pitch, fix it, add a track, add an indoor sports auditorium. The classes already exist, so it's school and sports. By the time you finish at age 17, 18, you know exactly what you want to do. We can get all our under 17 footballers from there. We can get under 18 athletes from there. We can get amateur boxers from these schools. That way it becomes a system. And I think we will benefit immensely from that.
Free consultation for the new government from Joy Sports editor Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Now, one team that needs revitalizing as much as the entire sports in general is the Black Stars. You know, we failed to qualify for the AFCON, which was the first in 21 years, and have not won the trophy since 1982. The Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, Nana Odrosafo, has urged Ghanaians to forget about trophies for the time being because the team is in a rebuilding phase.
All that goes up comes down. Ghana, we are living in the past glories. Ghana, we have to think of rebuilding. We need to do rebuilding. And over rebuilding now, you forget about trophies. You forget about glories. Give yourself time and build your national team. But you have a resource, you have a quick resource, and then we are not thinking of rebuilding.
One team that is emerged from a rebuilding process, but it's a slight setback last year, has to be the Black Queens. Their coach now Hoptel, she moved on to pastures anew and is going to guide Zambia to the Women's Cup of Nations. Now, the association says they could not agree a renewal for the Swiss, who has now been appointed coach of the Zambia women's team. Hoptel a few weeks ago announced their exit and expressed frustration about not playing enough friendlies in preparation for the upcoming AFCON. However, GFA Comms director Henry Asantishum has said she did not leave because of the lack of a plan to prepare the team adequately for the women's AFCON.
November we and I end to me a more friendly match. How is that enough reason coach on extending a contract? It goes beyond friendly matches. And purely an issue of we
only failed to play a friendly match in November. How is that enough reason for the coach not to have a contract extended? It is purely an issue of remuneration disagreements. The FA organized friendlies against Benin, twice against Senegal and Japan. In November, we planned friendlies against Senegal, Tunisia and France, which did not happen because of the distance and the players' fatigue after the Japan friendly.
It was all done by the FA.
Let's talk about the Ghana Premier League now. And despite their good run of form this season, memories of a Hearts of Oak near relegation escape is still lingering on the mind of head coach Abubakar Ouattara. The Phobians are 5th on the Ghana Premier League table with 28 points, just 2 away from, or 2 behind league leaders Pando Hearts of Lions after 16 games. Ouattara says that the team has set the target of picking enough points to avoid another relegation scrap.
The match is 19th January. From the 3rd and the 19th January, I think we have more than 2 weeks. We are going to prepare well. Every match is challenge for us. I say every match is challenge because now we need to grade maximum points to escape. Don't want to see the things we see last season when we are struggling because we don't have the points. This year we are trying to make our efforts.
Well, more on the Phobians because yesterday they announced the transfer of winger Sani Mohammed to Danish second-tier club AC Horsens. The youngster signed for Hearts of Oak from Division 2 club Soccer for Souls in July, but 8 months later he's moved on for a fee reportedly in the region of 250,000 euros. To the Danish side. Let's move the conversation on to the Gusa Games happening at the University of Cape Coast. And yesterday, the Ghana Communications Technology University beat Unimac by 3-1 in their second group game. Unimac forward Pascal Anta expects his team to correct their mistakes and bounce back.
First of all, we give thanks to God for how far He has brought us. It was a win. It was supposed to be a win for us, but unfortunately, we lost focus. Right when we considered the first game, we lost focus, and then the subsequent goals kept on coming. But this is not the end. We will just pick ourselves up, correct our mistakes, and then come the next time stronger and harder.
We've got more to come from the Gusa Games in our subsequent bulletins, but England next. And yesterday, Tottenham must have beat Liverpool by 1-0 in a controversial first leg semi-final League Cup encounter at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Lucas Begvall gave Spurs a narrow advantage to take to Anfield, but Liverpool were left raging that the 18-year-old was on the pitch to make that decisive contribution 4 minutes from time. He was on a yellow card when he caught Liverpool defender Kostas Tsimikas late in an incident not seen by referee Stuart Atwell. VAR also chose not to intervene and he stayed on the pitch to go on and score the winner. Here's Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk addressing the controversy that ended their 24-game unbeaten run.
Listen, I think it was quite obvious that it was going to be a second yellow. Obviously, I think it was pretty clear, and it was a coincidence. And a minute later, obviously, he scores the winner. But listen, it is what it is. He made a mistake in my opinion, and I told him that. And he thinks maybe he didn't, but it was quite obvious, I think, and everyone on the sideline knew exactly that it was supposed to be a yellow.
Well, that's a problem Spurs will not be bothered about because that win meant that they had now won their first game in 4 games.
It's been a difficult period for us, Troy, and again we had to deal with some adversity today. I thought we started the game really well, and then obviously not just losing Rodrigo, but in the manner that happens. I mean, you've been a player yourself. It's quite distressing when you see particularly a teammate in that state. So we had to sort of compose ourselves after that, and I thought we did that. The boys just worked their socks off. They just kept their heads against a very good opponent, and I thought we deserved the win.
Graham Potter is expected to be appointed as West Ham's new manager after the club sacked Julian Lopetegui yesterday. Former Brighton and Chelsea boss Graham Potter has agreed a 2.5-year deal with the Hammers subsequently and is expected to be unveiled at a press conference later this afternoon. The Spanish manager Lopetegui was sacked on Wednesday after just 6 months in charge, during which period he won just 6 Premier League games. Elsewhere in Saudi Arabia, Lamine Yamal and Gavi scored as Barcelona beat Athletic Club by 2-0 to reach the Spanish Cup final. I beg your pardon, the final, not the semis. Iñaki Williams scored a late consolation goal for Athletic, but he was chalked off for offside. Barcelona, thanks to that win, will either face Real Madrid or Mallorca, who play later tonight in Sunday's final. British star Jacob Friendly finally will face Nikarios in his Grand Slam return at the Australian Open after yesterday's draw. Kyrgios returned from injury, received a wild card, and for Novak Djokovic, who's now coached by Andy Murray, he plays American wildcard Nishesh Basaverdi in pursuit of his 25th Grand Slam title. Defending champion Yannick Sinner also faces Chile's Nicola Jarry. Arena Sabalenka starts her quest for a 3rd straight title against Sloane Stevens, and in the other fixtures in the women's draw, 22nd seed Katie Boulter faces Canada's Rebecca Marino. Emma Raducanu takes on 26th seed Ekaterina Alexandrova. And that's how we enter the Australian Open. And on that note, and the Joy Sports Centre for today.
Achu, Andy Murray, is he a good coach? I don't know. Has he coached anyone? Because I just saw it and I was like,
no.
Why would Djokovic?
They've done this before. I think, yeah. But Andy Morris, he's now sort of learning to cut his teeth, right? As far as coaching at the elites level,
it's not like he was a fantastic tennis player too. So
you see, the thing with Andy Morris, you can never really tell how good or how bad he was because he was in, without doubt, the most competitive period of the sport. Like you had 3 all-timers: Djokovic, Nadal, and then the Swiss master himself. All of them emerging in the same. Everyone else would look inferior.
Okay. Well, thank you for sports. There's plenty of sports though. And myjoyonline.com/sports. Victor Achutamaklo with sports there. We've got Food for Thoughts coming up. Is brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. But first, social media messages brought to us by EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
EcoBank Mobile, they make me say, EcoBank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Download it. You gon' enjoy it. In my Brahmin check. In my Brahmin check. Come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even church tights with the Apple. EcoBank Apple.
Life is easy with the EcoBank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the EcoBank mobile app. It's 5-star life with EcoBank. Can promise.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
No doubt. It's 44 minutes after 7. This is the Super Morning Show. We've got Food for Thought now. Brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle James Abo White. Good morning.
Gorgeous, good morning.
And how are you?
You are looking even more beautiful under the new president.
Thank you, Uncle Abo. I will soon start getting messages. People will be asking, what's the connection? What's the link? I've been inaugurated.
We have all been inaugurated, haven't we?
Oh, yes, we have. It's been good.
And I'm talking about that this morning.
Okay.
So, God, permit me to begin this morning's presentation by highlighting a few quotes from the president's inaugural speech on Tuesday, 7th January 2025. Quote number 1. We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana. 2. I intend to always tell you the truth. 3. There is every reason for hope, but we must also have faith because faith empowers us to trust that things will happen. Quote number 4. All of us are Ghana. You are Ghana and I am Ghana. Quote number 5. We have faith in Ghana's ability to overcome, excel, and be so successful with this reset that it will be difficult to imagine a time when that was not the case. Quote number 6. Great leadership is not defined merely by the offices we occupy, but by the legacy that we leave for future generations. Quote number 7. Ghana is open for business again. And quote number 8. We will write the next chapter in Ghana's story, and it will be one of promise, transparency, and transformative progress. Gorgeous. Tuesday, 7th January 2025 was a proud day for me as a Ghanaian, and I believe for every Ghanaian who puts nation above political party affiliation. The word that came to my mind, was beautiful. The peaceful transfer of power was beautiful. The way the Independence Square was transformed into Parliament House was beautiful. The number of African leaders, past and present, who attended the ceremony was impressive. I was particularly excited to have one of my heroes in leadership, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, present. Gorgeous, that is my hero. And sometimes I wish Rwanda would lend him to us. They should loan him to us for 4 years.
I was just going to say that. Yes, for 4 years.
Yeah. From my perspective, as someone who is into events, I think the whole ceremony was very well planned and executed. The speaker, the Right Honorable Alben Bagbin, was masterful in presiding over the inauguration of the president, and the Chief Justice conveyed warmth and pleasure in discharging her duties. I echo Mr. Speaker, and I echo your leadership. I was happy to see former President Kufuor being his cheerful and warm self. Even in a wheelchair, the former president still exudes charisma and warmth. It was also wonderful to have the just outgone president, Nana Akufo-Addo, and his vice, Dr. Bawumia, who was also the opponent of the incoming president in the elections, present to signal unity and maturity in our democratic practice. History was made on Tuesday at many levels. This was the first time a president who had been voted out has regained power through the same ballot process. And Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman goes into our history books as the first female vice president of Ghana. As I said, it was a beautiful ceremony. The highlight for me, however, was the speech of the president, John Mahama. It was a beautiful speech. Remember, I said the word that came to mind was beautiful. I love the fact that he acknowledged his predecessor and told the world that they are not enemies. Applauding his opponent, Dr. Bawumia, for his early concession was a very good and decent move. Dr. Bawumia indeed spared this nation so much tension and insecurity by that gesture of his. Celebrating the sportsmanship of Dr. Bawumia did not cost the president anything, but it showed him as big-hearted and magnanimous in victory. In this gesture, the president modeled for all politicians how to handle political victory. In the speech, the president was not just gracious in victory, but resolute in his commitment to reset the nation. That speech could easily be titled oral, except that in this case, the acronym stands for Operation Reset Agenda Launched. The president articulated his vision and demonstrated that he understood that power was a covenant with the people to whom power belongs. That is why it was so appropriate for him to have quoted the American President Reagan, who at his own inauguration said, quote, governments have no power except that granted by the people, end of quote. I wish the president would drum this into the minds and hearts of everyone he appoints to serve in his administration. The president followed this up by saying, quote, our people also understand that democracy is not just a token adorned with periodic elections followed by pomp and pageantry with the establishment of a new government. They expect that if democracy is celebrated as a superior means of governance, then its outcomes must be tangible and benefit them in their individual lives, end of quote. Democracy is not about political parties and voting and slogans only. Democracy is about delivering to the people a better life and an enabling environment for them to prosper and flourish. The president signaled that he understood that very clearly when he added, quote, my firm, immutable assurance is that your vote will matter in the work that I will do to make a difference in the destiny of this dear nation of ours. Your courage to bring change will not go in vain, end of quote. If the president is able to deliver on this promise, then the reset of the nation would indeed have happened. But the aspect of the inaugural speech that won my heart the most was the president's vision for the youth. Putting the aspirations of the youth in the context of his decisive victory, the president said, quote, in this resounding victory, I see a clarion call, particularly from the youth of Ghana, a generation that is brimming with potential and dreams that are waiting to be realized. This moment is a powerful affirmation that your voices matter, that your aspirations are valid, and that your future must be our priority. Now, in that, then the president made a commitment to translate the hopes of the youth into action and create opportunities for education, entrepreneurship, employment, and empowerment. The president then promised to work together with the private sector and captains of business to create decent and well-paying jobs for the youth. Now, Mama V, it was refreshing to hear a Ghanaian politician speak of the youth with respect and not dismiss them as empty-headed people, as some have done. The president's speech was not only beautiful, but it was bold. Listen to this, quote, for some time, our country has urgently needed leadership with an unwavering desire to get things done. With all humility, I assert that I intend to be that leader with your cooperation and with your help, end of quote. It takes guts and faith for a leader to make that assertion. I pray that the president delivers on his promises and that he honors the covenant he has bound himself to with the people of Ghana. Words are cheap, and so I pray that the president backs those beautiful words with action. I pray that for now, we cease being NDC and MPP, that we become Ghanaians, and together create the kind of paradise out of Ghana that no one will believe that it has not always been this way. I am praying for the president, because if he fails, he does not fail for NDC only. And when he succeeds, he does not succeed for NDC only. It is about Ghana. And may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. So, congratulations, Mr. Ababio, President. May your legacy be another oral Operation Reset Accomplished legacy. Operation Reset Accomplished legacy. And gorgeous. That is my presentation for this morning.
Thank you so much, Uncle, for highlighting that. For me, I thought his speech and posture was unifying. I mean, that was like a true statesman, you know.
Yes, it was.
It was refreshing.
It was. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The comments he made about the president, the outgoing, the former president. I mean, it was heartwarming.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it was, and their presence there signifying the unity of our nation. But it is I was hoping that if the African presidents who were there do not go back with anything, they would go back with a picture and how beautiful it is to transfer power peacefully.
Yeah, yeah.
And not wait to be pushed out and driven out.
Yeah,
and not wait to die on your seat.
Exactly.
As some have tried to do. And it is beautiful. You've done your bit. Go. Let somebody else come and continue, because the nation does not belong to any one individual.
You see,
so
Uncle,
it was beautiful.
This is
and
what
so
makes us citizens proud.
Those who wonder what I meant by my opening statement to you, it is because the word that came to mind was beautiful.
And these are the moments that also make us Ghanaians proud, you know, to think that this is our country and we got all these people here. Look at Burkina Faso. We couldn't, leaders couldn't get them to speak. They couldn't get them to sit down. And then we have them come here and they actually stayed. So yesterday, most of them were still around.
It's beautiful.
It
was a beautiful. So it was not just for unity in Ghana, but in Africa.
Yeah.
And I pray that at least among the president that came, we can have free trade with all of them.
Yeah.
Open borders with them. I think that would be the beginning of the turnaround of this continent of ours.
You've said it all, Uncle. You've said it all. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's all stay beautiful.
We are beautiful.
We are beautiful indeed.
Uncle Abel, thank you so much for food for thought, and please have a good day.
You too, and have a fantastic weekend.
All right, wish you same. Uncle Abel White with Food for Thought today is brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. It's 58 minutes after 7. This is the Super Morning Show. Let's bring you the fuel station tips, which is brought to us by Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, shaping policy, advancing industry standards. Your tip for today says, check fuel price. Verify the fuel price before refueling to avoid any discrepancies or misunderstandings. Please check the fuel price. Verify the fuel price before refueling to avoid any discrepancies or misunderstandings. That's your fuel station tip for today, brought to us by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, shaping policy, advancing industry standards. Please don't fight with the fuel attendants. Make sure you are watching, yeah? You can do your own calculation after that, but please don't fight them. Got a few seconds to 8. At 8, of course, we'll bring you the Business Minutes. It's brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you. Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts, and Pinnacle Life Insurance. More for your smile.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And it's 8 o'clock now, so here's the Joy Business Minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Engineering Services, the Generator Experts, and Pinnacle Life Insurance, more for your smile. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobenenim is pushing for an interministerial action to effectively contain inflation. The Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Ben Boach, is advocating swift reforms to make the Electricity Company of Ghana effective in its revenue collection to help pay for power it takes from production companies. Oil marketing firm Guel has maintained its dominance as the largest oil marketing company at the end of October 2024. The Chinese government has expanded a list of products that people can trade in to get a discount of as much as 20% on new goods as the country tries to boost its flagging economy. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Engineering Services, the Generator Experts, and Pinnacle Life Insurance, more for your smile.
Morning Show. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Yes, it is. Thanks to Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG, we stand with you, Anointed Engineering Services, the Generator Expert, and Pinnacle Life Insurance, more for your smile. We bring you the Business Minute. Thanks.
You know it's another OPK class.
So Anointed Engineering Services Limited, they sell ultra silent fuel efficient diesel generating sets, size ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at competitive prices. For every generator you acquire, you will enjoy 5 years warranty. They also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generating sets, and their services includes but not limited to the following: 24-hour emergency services, sale of genuine spare parts, reliable rental services, professional advice, and sales of tower lights and rental. They have new branches in BBNE. Find Anointed Engineering Services Limited at Petroges opposite Bethel School Junction on the main BBNE Kumasi Highway, Techiman ex-oil filling station on the main Techiman Kumasi Highway, and the head office is at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway. It's near the Odoko traffic light. You will not miss it. They have 18 branches nationwide, so you know you can find Anointed Engineering Services where you are. And they have a training school that trains students on generators and plant auto mechanics, electricals and controls, and solar installations. They offer 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. Call their hotlines today on 0243 480334 or 0243 690 295. Anointed, the Generator Experts. Coming up on the Super Morning Show this morning,
I do not have anything apart from rice, breakfast, lunch, and supper. And that is true for almost all the schools in Upper West and in Upper East. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. They're so like, apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, if apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize. You cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools, for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my matron, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still not out of the blues, and the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire needs. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned.
A bit okay, and some are in dire needs. That's CHAS. That's the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, making a call for parents to contribute. What they had actually earlier done was to appeal to the Ghana Education Service to reconsider the reopening of schools. And they cited unresolved financial issues, including government's non-payments for perishable foods provided for students last year. But of course, GES did not agree, so students are back. And now CHAS is asking for parents to support, because as you heard there from the National Secretary of CHAS, Primus Barrow, he says that the situation in high schools are dire, with many institutions having to ration food. That's what's happening now. So if you do not support, then of course it will not be good at all. But he says it's not the same in all the schools, and cites the schools particularly in the north as those who are suffering the most. That's one of the issues that we'll be getting into. It's a really, really important discussion. Some are asking, where have you been all this while? Why is CHAS now speaking up boldly? Those are all legitimate questions that we're asking. Also on our table, our breakfast table this morning.
I know that the term I used was not taken kindly by the minority caucus. And so I acknowledge that. And I decided that it will not be used officially. The Right Honourable Speaker will not use the term micro-minority at all in reference to the minority caucus. Today, we will not use a term that is not edifying. So I will not use it. I will not use it. I say I won't use it. Please. That is what I'm doing.
Morning Show. And that's Alban back in there, the Speaker of Parliament. Minority obviously not happy. They objected to the Speaker's description of their caucus as a micro-minority. So what you heard there was Mr. Speaker promising that he wasn't going to use micro-minority, even though he used it again in that statement. What's wrong with describing the minority as we have them now as micro? It's coming up on our big stories. Is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies. Latest from your partner for life, Lancaster Investi Ghana, the only British Investi campus in West Africa, and Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Remember, there's also the energy conversation. We don't want to get into a situation where we have power cuts consistently. And we know that this new government says that they're going to avert that. What's the very latest? There were meetings yesterday, so we'll bring you an update on that here on the Super Morning Show. But switch to Telecel. Fixed broadband today and experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and lots more. New customers get 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers, and existing customers receive 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal to keep browsing. To subscribe to Telecel Fixed Broadband for these amazing offers, just dial *900# *900#, or use the Telecel Play app, or visit a Telecel retail outlet, or simply just go to the website telecel.com.gh and get connected today. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies. And have you heard? Republic Bank is given. They've been given. They started last year, and they are still giving big. So pay with your Visa credit card and stand a chance to win an all expenses paid trip to Dubai or luxury staycation at some of Ghana's finest beach resorts, including Maha Beach Resort, Breezes Beach, or Camp Chachi. You could also win a 5-course dinner for 2 at the exquisite Braza restaurant, a full day spa services for 2, and other exciting rewards in the Republic Bank Tap, Win, and Fly to Dubai promotion. You could also win
You know it's another OPK class.
Other prizes that they have, but all you have to do is really use any of your Republic Bank Visa credit card. We're talking Infinite, Adishi, or Classic card. Every tap counts. Make your tap count. So what are you waiting for? It's time to fly to Dubai with a Republic Bank Visa card. Start tapping and make the season unforgettable. This promotion is under the Caritas Lottery platform. Republic Bank, we're the one for you. Still to come, we have a conversation with Astolings, your overseas education consultants. They're on the Super Morning Show this morning.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
All right, but get in touch with us. Let your voice be heard. Do you have a child in senior high school? Are they back? Do you have children? Are you looking after someone in senior high school? What do you make of this call by Chas? They are being truthful now. They are being very open, and they are asking you to support with food stuff. Otherwise, it won't be good. They won't get food to feed your children, our children in senior high schools. They couldn't speak before clearly like they are. So is it good that they're doing this now, that they're being truthful, they're being honest, and they're being open with us? Or you're also asking now, who gagged you before? Why are you speaking now? Why are you telling us? If you were able to manage before, when you were not talking about the situation, then you should be able to do so now, shouldn't you? Are you happy to support? Are you supporting? 055-111-1997. That's our WhatsApp number for you to get in touch. And of course, we're also looking at the situation in Parliament, and we're talking energy. We'll bring you the very latest in terms of the government's arrangement to get us not go back into the situation where we're experiencing doom. So that's all coming up here on the Super Morning Show. Reach us on X, former Twitter, Joy997, and on Facebook as well. But when you do, please add the hashtag JoySMS. We'll share your thoughts with the rest of the world. Don't be scammed, says EcoBank. Fraud activities are on the increase as scammers continue to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, and emails to get customers to divulge sensitive information such as password, PIN, card information, CVV, OTP, and other personal details. Their ultimate goal is to steal your money. EcoBank wishes to advise all customers to be extra vigilant and never trust any phone calls. Don't trust text messages or emails from anybody posing as an EcoBank staff and assisting customers to update their bank details. Some of them give you the impressions that EcoBank will be calling you to ask for your contact or card details, or help you link your Ghana card to your bank account, or offer unsolicited assistance. Beware, as these fraudsters will try to gain your trust and persuade you to give out your personal or account details. Protect yourself by never sharing sensitive details with anyone claiming to represent EcoBank. And always remember these tips. Bank account details can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the App Store or Play Store. And linking your Ghana card to your EcoBank account is at any EcoBank branch or the EcoBank website, ecobank.com. Also, do not share your password, your PIN, OTP, card information, or any other personal information with anyone, whether remotely or face-to-face. And never give the 16 digits or any number on your bank card to anyone. Also, avoid any calls or messages that request you to click a link, and report any suspicious SMS, emails, or phone calls to the EcoBank Contact Center, and delete such messages at 1. The Contact Center number is 0800 003 225. Is a toll-free number, 0800 003 225. Call it when you are in doubt or you feel insecure. It's the Super Morning Show, 13 minutes after 8. We've got great discussions. Keep sending those messages, 055-111-1997. We're talking about the situation with foodstuffs. Well, the schools, Chas says that's the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. They do not really have the food to feed our kids in school. They're calling for our support. We'll bring you details of that here on the Super Morning Show.
Keep this frequency clear. 99.7. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
There's a business in every woman, from the young lady brimming with exciting and novel business ideas to the market queen managing her empire. There's the she architect, quantity surveyor, realtor, business consultant, crafting dreams into reality, and the multitasking mom seamlessly blending work at home. The entrepreneur, meticulously checking stock, to the corporate woman sealing deals on the move. Indeed, there's a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Benefit from tailored activities, networking, business and technical support, free webinars, trainings, and more. To join this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2025 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
What makes you smile is a time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, or simply enjoying life's little moments. At Pinnacle Life Insurance, we believe that life insurance should do more than just protect your family's financial future. It should also help you live your best life now. Our policies offer comprehensive coverage, living benefits, and rewards to help you make the most of today, because we think of wealth differently. At Pinnacle Life Insurance, we provide solutions that give you more for your smile, more time, more freedom, more joy. For more information on our policies, call us on 0501 451 400 or visit www.pinnaclelife.com.gh. Pinnacle Life Insurance, more for your smile.
I used to stress about where to receive my approach car and always used to doubt whether my friend has really sent it.
So I asked a friend of mine and he said his wife used to have similar challenges until she decided to receive money transfers from CBG.
Well, I can relate because now I receive my money from CBG. It's so simple, fast and secure with no delays and no hidden fees. And I must say, life is now feeling good.
Stay connected to your loved ones no matter where they are. With Consolidated Bank Ghana's money transfer services, you can receive money quickly and securely from abroad, whether through MoneyGram, Western Union, PayAngel, Transfast, UnityLink, Ria, EaseRemit, Thunes, TapTap Send, and TerraPay. Cash out your way any day with Consolidated Bank Ghana. Welcome to the good life. CBG, we stand with you.
We stand with
Do you want to remain productive and competitive in your business? Then I am happy to remind you that Anointed Engineering Services Limited is still here to serve. We provide homes, offices, and institutions with ultra-silent, reliable, and fuel-efficient diesel generating sets with sizes ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at unbeatable prices. You also enjoy a 5-year warranty. Anointed Engineering is noted for unwavering 24-hour after-sale emergency service, rental and sale of tile lights and genuine spare parts, undertake repair and maintenance of all diesel generators, and buy back used generators. Sign up today at our training school and gain hands-on experience from our team of professionals on generators, plants, auto mechanics, electricals, controls, and solar installations. Anointed Engineering has 18 branches nationwide. Locate our head office in Accra at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic light. Call our hotlines on 0302 324723 or 0243 690295. Also on 0243 480334. Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator experts.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. Coffee in your cup and and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Player, give me some brew and I might just chill, but I'm the type that
It's 21 minutes after 8. This is the Super Morning Show. And I have a conversation with Astolings. Astolings is an overseas education advisory firm here in Ghana. They provide advice on course selection, school and country of study based on global demand and immigration policies and other factors. So, they've got your back. Mr. Richard Obing Esuming is the CEO of Astolings. And since this is our first conversation in 2025, Afishapa.
Afin committee, Afisena, Yetinquim.
Amen.
Na Ghana ye bebre.
Amen.
Na ye and so ye koyen in bebre.
And one.
Thank you.
Thank you too. It's good to see you. Some of us know Astolings, but for the person who is listening and hearing Astolings for the first time, talk to about your services.
Thank you and good morning and Happy New Year to our fantastic viewers and listeners across the world. Astolings is a registered Ghanaian firm that is into travel, and our travel focuses on overseas education, that is helping people who want to study abroad to acquire knowledge. We also have skill migration, people who want to work abroad. We have general travel as in people who want to go for like holidays, medical reason, businesses, attend conference and the like.
All right.
We also provide professional training, especially people who want to write professional exams like IELTS, SAT, TOEFL, GMAT. We also organize conferences for professionals. For example, a conference on AI for business, how artificial intelligence is influencing business to scale. So these are activities or services we run in our business. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
But I want to focus on the education bit, the studying abroad. So if somebody has been refused visa to a particular country, can they still apply and get that opportunity to study there?
Yes, thank you for the question. If you are listening to me, you have been denied a visa to country A or B, and you want to try again, yes, it is possible. What we have to do is be able to meet you up, understand you, or engage you to know what your immigration history looks like, and based on that, we can recommend the best destination. So the answer is yes.
Okay. That's good. Tell us about the countries, because I know because of what you do, there are certain countries that you recommend.
Yes.
Because you think that there are factors there that are favorable. So which countries are we looking at?
Well, thank you. Before I want to answer the point B, why do we promote certain countries? If, for example, you are in Ghana and you want to study, you have to look at the economic situation of the country, peace and stability. Thanks be to God, our country went through election, we won, and Ghanaians have won.
Yeah.
So we look at going to study in the country. What is the global reputation of the institution? in terms of when you bring their qualifications to even to Ghana, how is it going to be recognized? The value of the qualification. And most international students, for example, Ghanaians, we are looking at where we can actually study and at the same time work to support ourselves. People are looking at even going to study. Can I go with my family? Like Mama Vig, if you are to study in a country, would you want to go with your family or something?
Course.
And once you're done with your studies, you're also thinking of probably, can I work in the country as a result of return on investment? These are the various reasons we consider before placing a student. And we are happy and proud to say that countries in the past years we've been promoting are Australia, Canada, UK, US, Ireland, New Zealand, Germany, and some others. But these 6 countries are the ones we've been promoting.
Right.
And as a result of the reasons I have previously mentioned. Yeah.
One of the other factors would be the possibility of getting a scholarship or getting some assistance to pay the fees. What's the plan?
I'm happy to share this great information. Most of the countries that we promote have 1 or 2 funding opportunities. So, yes, if you look at Australia, for example, we have the Australia Award Scholarship, which is open now for every Ghanaian or African who want to study in Australia, no matter your nationality or your age. What you need to do is to get an unconditional offer of admission and then apply to it. You are likely to get it.
Do you have to have exceptional grades? I mean, must you be like a first class student?
Not most often. Of course, most scholarships are based on academic merit. However, if you have a compelling reason to say, even though I did not get first class or upper class, but I should still be considered because probably you have been doing a project or you want to study a course that will lead to alleviation of global issues, environmental issues. For example, we have mining challenge in Ghana, Galamsey in Ghana. So if you want to study a course like environmental studies and your intention is that you want to bring the skills and knowledge you are going to acquire to come and create awareness about the implications of Galamsey in Ghana, I see such persons getting the funding than somebody who even had first class. So I would say that most often our candidate ought to be needs a lot of coaching. We also have funding opportunities to study in Canada and the United States. There are funding loan companies that are giving funding, so you don't have to be rich to study abroad now. And happy to say that now in the UK too, we have a company that is giving up to 50% funding opportunity. So let's assume
that's
you don't half. If you don't have scholarship right now, you can still study in the UK with a loan. And then they give you up to 24 months to repay your loan, making the payment plan much more flexible for our perspective.
Because that's 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
All right.
And can you imagine the loan what do you call it rate? How do you call
interest
it?
rate?
The interest rate is less than 10%.
Oh wow!
Compared to Ghana, which I don't want to mention. Yeah.
All right. So one of the other areas that I know people will be interested in, which you talked about, is the skills aspect of it.
Yes.
So if you're a Ghanaian, is there an opportunity currently as we speak that people can take advantage of?
Yes. So we've also introduced our skill migration. We work with immigration lawyers and consultants around the world. So if you're a Ghanaian, you want to work abroad, not through education, you want to work abroad, you've got either vocational skills or academic skills. You can contact us to links and then we can walk you through to see if you'll be eligible. We can recommend you to work in countries like Australia. They have a visa type called Skill Independent Visa. You can also apply through Canada. We have something we call Canada Experience Class or the Express Entry in Canada. You don't need a job offer. You don't need to have a connection man or any third party. It's just a process. Your age, your qualification, your work experience, your language ability. Once you go through all these points and you meet them, you can receive an invitation to apply for permanent resident, and it is there. So we want to create this awareness to our listeners and viewers. Yes.
Right. My guest is the CEO of Astolings, Richard Obing Esuming. That's an overseas education advisory firm here in Ghana. So we've been talking about the opportunities out there in terms of education, and also he's just talked about the skilled training aspect, where you have a special skill and you want to work in a specific country, the opportunities that exist there. Let's talk about the general advice. Somebody is listening to us or watching us on social media and they have intentions of traveling. They have to seek professional advice before they make the move, don't they?
Absolutely. I want to make this, and I've been creating this awareness. If you want to travel for any reason, I see a lot of people sending their passport to pastors and prophets to pray over them. I even had a client, when I received the passport, I saw that an anointing oil has been poured on the passport. In as much as I believe in prayers and a prophetic ministry, I want to encourage our viewers and listeners that 2025, if you want to travel to any country, please, it's not about prayers. It is about getting the right consultant, lawyers, immigration advisors to support, going to the embassy to read the requirement, follow the process, and submit the right documents. You will be successful. Even if you get visa refused, it doesn't mean you may not get a visa tomorrow. Do the right thing. Number 2.
Is that not cumbersome? Maybe perhaps some people think that it's too much. That's why they want to go through a third party.
I think it's lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge, and I also think that some people, religious leaders, have taken advantage of the ignorance of people.
Right.
Yeah. If you're sick, you go to the hospital. If you want to travel, meet immigration lawyers, advisors, and consultants. My second advice is that do not use fake documents.
Okay.
No. I have seen somebody who applied to an embassy, I don't want to mention him, didn't even have bank statement, but wrote and explained to the visa officer that these are his or her circumstances, and he was granted a visa. So don't go and sit somewhere for somebody to design a document. You don't work with multimedia. Why should you produce a letter to say that you work with multimedia? We are in the internet age. The embassies will be able to find out. And because you are going to provide a misleading information or document, I'm afraid to say that your visa will be refused, and you may also have a ban. That means you may not be able to apply for visa up to a certain number of years. So seek professional advice. Don't use fake documentation, and don't use the desert. I always want to say this. Don't use the desert. There are genuine means you can use to travel. Once you go through that. So we at Astolings, this is what we are doing in 2025. We want to create this awareness and tell people that if you want to travel, please engage. There are a lot and genuine consultants in Ghana, not only us. Make sure you engage them and do the right thing, and make sure you do it at the right time. And then on top of that, add your prayers to it. And I can confidently say that you are going to be okay.
All right. Is it not maybe too expensive doing the right thing?
I don't think so, because until you get refused or you get visa banned, then you really know that it wasn't expensive. So people should not substitute cost of consultation to prayers. No, I also say that there is no divine substitute for skill. God will not say, I'm a consultant, I've gone to school, I'm an immigration advisor, and instead of engaging me, pay to get the right advisor, you are rather going to meet your prophet somewhere to rather advise you. When you get visa refused or you get a banned, then you know that it is really expensive. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So after this conversation, where can people find you? What's your contact number?
Thank you. Well, if you're in Accra or in Ghana, you can always go online to engage us online. Astolings International. We are on all the social media platforms. We have a very fantastic website. You can also visit our offices across Ghana. We are in Takoradi, Kumasi, and we are in Accra. Of course, we are in UK as well. In Accra, we are located at 4A Popo Street, East Legon. 4A Popo Street, East Legon. And they can contact our business development manager in Accra. I'll mention his number here.
That's Nana Jesse, right?
Nana Jesse, who has always been coming here with me. So Nana Jesse number is 0537 152 118. I want to repeat the number again. 0537 152 118. They can contact Nana Jesse, send him a message. I mean, if everybody is calling him now, he will not be able to respond. So you can send him a message and say, hey, Nana, I got the contact. I want to talk to you. What would be the right time to speak to you? If you send such a message, I'm very confident that he'll be able to speak to everyone at the right time. Okay. So don't just call, send a message, and he's going to respond to everyone. Okay. You can also walk into our office in East Legon Mondays to Friday. You can also call and book an appointment. Appointment is free. Book an appointment that I want to visit the office and make inquiries. Okay. We'll be happy to engage you.
All right. Yes. Well, what a way to start the new year. Thank you so much, Mr. Richard Obing, assuming CEO of Astolings.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. This is the Super Morning Show. When we return, we're talking about the CHAS's call, that's the Conference of Heads of Assistant Secondary Schools, the open call for parents to support them with feeding of the children in school. Otherwise, it will not end well, because really, they do not have foodstuff. They don't have food enough to feed the children who are in school. And the situation is even dire in the northern parts of the country. So stay with us. We'll get more details of this. We'll talk about how you can help now that they've made the open call. And then we're going to paint the true picture to you. And if you're supporting your children who are in secondary school, please get ready to join us in this conversation. That's all to come after this.
There's still, like, apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, if apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize. You cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my matron, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still out of the blues, and the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire needs. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned.
Super Morning Show.
First Sky Group, a wholly owned Ghanaian company made up of First Sky Construction, First Sky Bitumen Processing, First Sky Commodities, Volta Serene Hotel, Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Serene Insurance, First Sky Energies, and Federal Rural Bank warmly invites you to its 22nd Thanksgiving service on the theme Proclaiming God's Unfailing Love, Romans 8:37. The Thanksgiving service in two parts will be hosted by the founder and executive chairman, Mr. Eric Sedi Kutoche. There will be an all-night service on Friday, 17th January 2025 from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. at the Trinity Temple Assemblies of God Church, TTAG Community 10, Tema. Ministering in word, Reverend Mark Sessi, National Missions Director, Assemblies of God, Sierra Leone. Reverend Sujit Alex, FAM's North Area Leader, Assemblies of God, UK. Thanksgiving service follows on Sunday, 19th January 2025 at the main auditorium of the Accra International Conference Center. The time is 10 a.m. Guest speaker, Reverend Stephen Yansum Wingham, General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Ghana. Chairman for the occasion, Most Reverend Professor Johnson Kwabena Asamoah Jedu, the presiding bishop, the Methodist Church Ghana. Ministering in music will be MOG Music. Also in attendance will be His Eminence Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, Immediate Past General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Ghana, Apostle General Sam Kwanchi Ankara, Royal House Chapel International, Reverend Steve Mensah, Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry, Most Reverend Dr. Paul Boafo, Apostle Professor Kwejo Opoku Onina, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, Reverend Dr. Sylvanus Amegashiti, Elom Group Corporate Chaplain, First Sky Group, and many other senior clergy. For more details, please call 020-854-3441 or 0248-940-021. First Sky Group 22nd Thanksgiving Service, proclaiming God's unfailing love.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Others are still in very dire situations, even with with the supply of some food items. Admittedly, some food items have reached out to almost every school in this country. But I'm saying dire because what is actually needed to run or to feed the students is still woefully inadequate, especially for schools that are found in the northern belt and some in the middle belt and south. There's still like, apart from rice, typically, if you take a place like Upper West, Upper East, if apart from rice, they do not have any other cereal. You can't talk about maize, you cannot talk about millet. So it is rice and nothing more. You go to what is used to make the soup. Some schools for a long time, including my own school, don't have a single gallon of oil. So my matron, for example, will rely on things like margarine to do, and the margarine is finished. Next week, if I don't get margarine, there will be nothing to stand in for oil. So the situation is still, we are still not out of the blues, and the situation is not a uniform situation. Some are a bit okay, others are okay, and some are still in dire need. So that is how I can describe the situation as far as food is concerned. All schools in this country are in the position to be able to manage the situation. And the key with the operational word there is manage.
And when manage here means what exactly?
You will just be able to provide something for the students. You'll be able to provide something that is available in your stores for the students. And like I gave an example of my school, I do not have anything apart from rice. So I'll be able to provide something rice, breakfast, lunch, and supper. And that is true for almost all the schools in Upper West and in Upper East. In some cases, they may have some other food supplements, other food items to supplement. So the situation generally is not too good. It is not up to our expected standards. And so I can only advise our parents, yes, parents can send their wards to school because there's now something to be provided for them. But then we will add strongly that as you send your ward to school, please add the attachments. You have to accompany with the gari, the normal shito, and the normal sugar.
Yeah, you see.
at 9:15. And this is the Super Morning Show. We're so excited you've chosen to join us. And today's conversation is important. It's about the children. I mean, we've realized that the reopening of senior high schools has not gone smoothly. In fact, the warnings came even before. CHAS insisted that the reopening be postponed, and the reason was that they were yet to figure out the food and feeding situation. Well, the reopening went ahead.
And they are not even feeding all the kids, so Form 2 students are home.
Yes.
They've not gone to school yet. They're supposed to go back in February.
Indeed.
So they don't have full complement of students and still struggling to feed them.
This tells you that really the coffers are bare, right? In the most literal sense of the expression. So our kids are in school and are not being fed, either not being fed well or not being fed at all. This is concerning. This is of deep concern. And of course, this is only the second day of a new government. So how does this problem get tackled? What's the situation on the ground? How is it actually panning out for these kids? Are you a parent? Do you have kids in school? Are you a student who has started school and already are forced to operate on, much less nutrition than you deserve? Listen, we want to hear from you. Are you a teacher? Forced to superintend over this situation where people's children are starving under our education system? Talk to us. All right, this is a safe space. Let's talk and solve the problem. We'll give you the opportunity to send through your messages and possibly give us a phone call later on the show. But listen, we need to deal with the issues. Kofi Asare joins us now. He's no stranger to our show. He's the executive director of the Africa Education Watch think tank, and they've done a lot of work in the education space. Kofi, what a pleasure. Happy New Year and good morning.
Happy New Year to you, Kojo and team, and many happy returns.
All right, now stay with us for just a moment. I want you to hear some of the messages that have come through on this topic. Raymond.
This one, Mr. Primakov says, indeed, the free SHS must be reviewed. The kids are suffering and food supplies must be decentralized. That will allow head teachers to even get food on credit. We should stop punishing our kids that way. Free SHS review now. And this one, @like_dreams. This is not something that we must debate. It's something that must be taken care of. You just heard head of schools cautioning students to bring enough foodstuffs. And at EKB_junior, even the MPP wanted to review it. At Ghana Prince, make SHS tuition free. Let students pay for their feeding. If they cannot, e-blocks await them. They will eat at home and go to school. At I Am Prince, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service and all his deputies must be sacked with immediate effect. They forced CHAS to reopen schools, knowing very well that there aren't enough food to feed the students. Just wanted to please President Akufo-Addo and the NPP government. Now, see this embarrassment. At Shiny Bossman, when we say free SHS is destroying our schools, mediocre mindsets do not understand. I hope the new government will be bold to cancel it. Well, this one says, good morning, Kojo. If you read this, do it anonymously. Indeed. I sent my daughter to school, Wesley Girls, this past weekend. Speaking to the students, they were indeed being fed poorly. And this is Wesley Girls. Wow. We know that the standard of feeding in some schools, Wesley Girls is one of them. But this is Wesley Girls said they're being fed poorly. They look so hungry to the extent that I was moved to get some food around the market close to the school for them. Come and see the joy in their faces. The free SHS must be reviewed to take all concerns on board. Feeding is particularly a problem. Everyone knows. And that's how this is actually going. So that's some of the messages that hopefully today parents like this one can mention the name of the schools for their children and not be afraid to tell us their kids are suffering.
Yeah.
Hopefully, head teachers, like the way they've come out.
Yeah.
Since the gag order appears to have been removed now, yes, we can now have the conversations we want to have about our senior high schools.
Yeah.
And you will not be termed as a radio station in Accra waging a war against the policy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But you know, guys, even for parents, it's expensive. Feeding is expensive because we know that prices of foodstuffs are.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually like an impossible call to say that only government should take care of that aspect. I know that parents will understand, especially when you want to feed a balanced diet. We're not just talking about feeding. We're not just saying rice, and oil. You want to give the children a well-balanced diet.
Amavi, let me disagree with you. See, we as a republic, we waste money on frivolous things. We waste money on projects. This country, in its rightful sense, spent 250 million and more doing all African games. I propose to you,
dollars.
Yes, that money could have been, if it is actually given to feeding in schools, would have been better used for our education of our young people. So we can have that conversation. But I reject that claim that this country that raises taxes from people cannot raise enough money to feed its students in their schools. I reject it. Let's not pretend that we don't have priorities. Everybody knows that health, education are top priorities. We are not saying that go and be paving or doing asphalt in every corner of the country. It is possible. Let's not give government excuses because they waste the money on irrelevant things. I'll tell you, we can remove people who are useless in this country and give them money to feed in schools. I've always maintained that the concept itself was not something I agreed to. But people insisted in this country that we could never do targeting. Seriously, they told us. We gave alternatives. They said no.
Even the finance minister himself said target it.
Yeah.
But we said
in fact, it reached the point they made us feel that it is only beneficiaries, there be wrong beneficiaries of cocoa marketing board scholarship, who are insisting that we should do the same thing so that their fathers will hijack the space like they hijack the CMB scholarships.
Imagine.
That's the claim they were making.
Yeah.
This state that actually developed a common targeting mechanism all of a sudden could not do anything close to that.
Look,
we can feed them. Let's feed them fully and properly.
Let's talk about it. Kofi Asare joins us. He's the executive director of the Africa Education Watch. Now, Kofi, I mean, you've heard the views of some of our listeners, but I want to look at this thing from a practical point of view. This is a screw up. Somebody screwed up. Who? At what point did this slip up to the point where we are reopening schools without food or funds to feed the kids?
Good morning. I think that the food issue is not new. It's a recurring one. It comes and goes. And it is not the case that schools do not have food at home, but then they lack some necessary, ingredients. There are about 18 food items on the list of food supplied by the first stock. That is the centrally procured and supplied food stuff sent to the schools. And then the schools use their subvention to acquire the perishables, like fish, egg, and that stuff at the school level. So some of these food items are in scarce supply. For some of them, I can't even say scarce supply because the students are used to not having them again. For example, bread. In the northern regions, in the past year, over a year, the bread is history. So breakfast is only cocoa takora. So you have some items not being there, but then you have some items being there. Rice is sufficiently available, which is staple, etc. So it is not the case that there is a blackout or total shortage of food, but some essential ingredients that make up the food basket in the senior high schools are in the rapid supply. And that is not because there is no food in the system. It is because of a liquidity challenge. We haven't solved the liquidity challenge from the beginning. The feeding arrangement under the free senior high school policy is not yet a system. It is nowhere near becoming a system. It was an ad hoc and has continued to be an ad hoc arrangement where politicians were directly involved in managing the procurement, distribution, and supply of foodstuffs. So immediately, there's a transition. You appreciate that there will be some changes, in the system, in the flow, because there's no system. It is not autopilot yet. It is still a work in progress activity. That is one of the challenges we are facing.
So really what I'm hearing is that, look, it's a liquidity issue, and also the school feeding program has just been a political procurement opportunity, never a system to feed children. So with a change of government, suddenly those who were getting money from that procurement arrangement are no longer doing so. Therefore, the school feeding program has collapsed. Is that pretty much what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that because it is a political arrangement, the suppliers themselves are sensitive to the transition. And so we detected inertia on the part of food suppliers from September. No one wanted to be owed. And so we started strict guarding in supplying food from September. Because we know that the history tells us in this country, whenever there's a political transition, feeding or food supply arrears become a big issue. And then the politics set in. And so from September, we saw significant inertia on the part of most suppliers, especially some of them from the buffer stock side, in supplying food. And so immediately election happened and then the transition was confirmed. You would expect that as a rational supplier or businessman who understands the political economy of the free senior high school and the food distribution system, they will be hesitant. Especially again on the back of the NDC's promise to abolish this current centralized procurement system for food in senior high schools and introduce what existed prior to the free senior high school, which is a decentralized one where schools do the procurement. And then the government or the Ministry of Education and Engineering supervise procurement. Because the suppliers are bulk suppliers and they are aware that this system would obviously, take many of them out of business, they are also cautious to continue to supply. Because if you continue to supply, you can't see the future of your business. And you also do not know whether or not you are going to get paid today or not. So the uncertainty is it's one of the issues for the emergencies we are recording today, apart from the systemic deficiencies that exist. What we need is a level of assurance from the government that even though it has promised to decentralize the procurement of food to senior high schools, it doesn't intend to do it suddenly and instantaneously. Definitely there should be a transitional period. And so that assurance should offer some comfort to suppliers that their contracts will not be terminated immediately, or their services will not be required, or their debt owed them will be paid. Right. If that assurance is given in the interim, I'm sure the inertia in supplying foodstuffs, would have been resolved in the interim.
It strikes me that what you are describing is something that would have been obvious during the transition period. It would have been obvious to the incoming government that this potential problem was awaiting them because of the politicized nature of the school feeding program. What should they have done to forestall? You've talked about giving assurances to the suppliers, but should they have in some way provided the liquidity so that schools could reopen without any break in the supply chain?
Yeah, as I explained to you, everything we are discussing at the base is a liquidity issue. It's a cash flow issue. So if you were not owning any supplier, there wouldn't be any hesitance in supplying. It is a cash flow issue because suppliers in this country, we're all aware of, at a point were owed over 1 year. You understand? So the cash flow issue couldn't have been solved by the transitional team. Because an issue that has been solved in 7 years cannot be solved in 1 month. And if you understand the dynamics of the cash flow issue, you will appreciate that the solution many times does not lie with the Ministry of Education. It is an issue with the Ministry of Finance and their cash flow, and how their cash flow does not sufficiently align to the cash flow for providing education service in accordance with the academic year timetable. That incongruity is the reason. And so the transitional team couldn't have done anything about what has existed for 7 years. And then worst of all, where the actors are aware that the bulk supply business is ending because of the promise to decentralize it, you obviously expect that as rational businessmen or investors, they will exhibit some form of retreat or inertia, in continued supply. So for me, this is not unanticipated. Based on the politicized nature of school feeding contracts, and secondly, and most importantly, on the back of the promise to end the centralized procurement system and decentralized feeding to the schools. With these two, it is very well anticipated that we will have this disruptions in the supply of foodstuffs to schools. But it didn't start now. As I'm saying, it started from September because of the expectation of the possibility of this happening.
Now, you've pointed out that there are also arrears to contend with. So this is not a problem to be solved in days. How long will our children be forced to go to school under these conditions before some sanity can be brought to the system?
Well, in our proposal, and let me indicate that as part of our work with the Ministry of Education, we have a plan and a project to begin working closely with the ministry as part of the transition process to think through a workable roadmap, for transitioning from the current centralized food distribution system, food procurement and distribution system, to the envisioned or the promised decentralized system. We believe that with our experience observing the system, it is something that should be done carefully and slowly. It shouldn't be a sudden migration. It should be a gradual process with a transitional plan, with the plan having various cushioning mechanisms to ensure that there is a seamless transition. And so we are ready to provide a technical support to the Ministry of Education. What I also want to indicate is that at the moment, the problem of school feeding is a liquidity challenge. But within the context of the liquidity challenge, it is the immediate issue is the unwillingness or the initial or the part of food suppliers who are not sure about the future of their contract. A statement by the transition team, a statement by the new government to the effect that the contracts are not automatically terminated and that supplies will be paid, etc. And the statement from that side should give a certain degree of comfort to investors in the food supply chain, so that the inertia we are experiencing, is reversed. It is possible once that statement is issued from the government. That is what we need now. Leadership.
So a statement would be the short-term fix, and you expect that once that is done, the suppliers will kick into gear, start providing these items for the schools, and the kids will then have food.
And in the long term, we fix the liquidity issues. It doesn't appear as if the current government is interested in tinkering with the cost implication of feeding. And the promise that is made in response to the free senior high school did not include allowing parents to pay for feeding. And so, so far as that promise is not part of their manifesto, and it doesn't appear, as I keep saying, the only government that reasonably would, make those changes was the NDC government, and they refused to do it. And so it becomes a political trap And so no government would like to do that. So eventually what is going to happen is that the cash flow problem, the financing deficits for the free senior PCD will never go away until we come to the realization that the public system can only finance the feeding of senior high schools in arrears, partly in arrears. And then we continue. Other than that, there's no way. We have made proposals to cushion the financial muscle of the Ghana Community Exchange and the buffer stock. For example, giving them the power to raise credits, to pre-finance orders. But as the government intends to decentralize, it means that arrangement cannot be done. The senior high schools should rather prepare to take over procurement. And so, for now, it's a fluid situation, but I believe that the situation can only be managed by still accumulating arrears and then paying them gradually. I don't think that we get to a point where we will have shortage of food solved in this country unless we come to the realization that you cannot feed everyone in senior high school and pay that cash, in real time. It's not possible because the cash flow of the public finance system cannot support that timely payment. It will always be in arrears, and we must appreciate that.
What percentage of the cost in training a child in a senior high school, say for an academic year, is dedicated to feeding?
The feeding budget of the free senior high school is about 70%. So if we are spending about 3 billion cedis a year on free senior high school, about 70% is feeding.
Just feeding.
And beyond feeding, the other items are uniforms, exercise books. Look, so the whole program is about 90% procurement. But about 70% is feeding. And even this 70%, this is a very, very, very compromised feeding arrangement. As I've told you, for over a year, in the northern region, there is nothing like bread. In other regions, there are many other regions, nothing like bread. It's only cocoa. So that is what I'm calling feeding, and that is what is taking up 70%. So if you have to feed the way we were being fed when we were in senior high school, secondary school, by getting cocoa and bread, obviously you will be spending even more. But within this current feeding arrangement where parents are complaining that their children are not being properly fed, where students are also complaining that they are not properly fed, we are spending up to 70% of the 3 billion a year free senior high school budget on feeding. And this is the quality of feeding that 70% is able to procure.
Is this call by CHAS now for parents to support in the interim? Is this sustainable? How long can we go with this?
I think the call is only a reminder. So far as we are concerned, the last time we did a research on the cost incidence analysis of the free senior high school to ascertain the cost of secondary education borne by parents, the government, our finding was that parents were bearing about 70% of the cost of secondary education, and government was paying 30%. And parents' share of the cost of secondary education, that is 70%, was 90% provisions. So there is data, to strongly suggest that parents are already spending hugely, in supporting the feeding of their children in school. So CHAS's call is only a reminder, but the reality is that your ward needs provisions. They actually rely on their provisions to supplement what is said. For example, the example I gave you, if we are in a northern region school or in one of the schools that have been doing cocoa sakura for years, obviously a parent will be buying biscuits or something, to balance the carbohydrates in the morning. So CHAS's call is nothing new. There's nothing new about it. It's only a reminder. But that's the reality. It's always been there. Yeah.
But are you saying that even with this policy, parents were bearing about 70% of the cost?
Yeah, 72%. Read our free senior high school cost incidence analysis. The cost of secondary education is categorized into 4. The cost of transport, that is 1. The cost of provisions, that is 2. The cost of free senior high school, that is 1. This is 3. And I mean the cost borne by free senior high school, and then there's also another cost for incidentals, and then personal effects. For these were the cost categorizations we analyzed in our free senior high school cost incidence analysis. And between 2017 and 2022, government was spending only about taking care of only 28% of the cost of secondary education. That was about 1,200 a year on the average, and parents were taking care of the lion's share. And because of the double track which was running, we realized that parents would pay for transport about 6 times in an academic year, even though we have 4 semesters. You go and come. You do 4 trips in a semester, so you do about 8 trips in 2 semesters. And if your child is a student in Archbishop Portes, one of the schools we sampled, and we live in Accra, you know what it means to go to Takoradi and back 8 times. So the cost on transport, the cost of buying provisions for students because of the inadequacy of meal fare were very, very significant in the parents' cost. I've not added other things like incidental, other books that parents procure. We didn't even add the cost of extra classes while they are home. And so parents are already supporting in the sharing of the cost of secondary education. And government is also supporting. So schools are using margarine, to replace oil.
Is margarine not more expensive than oil?
No,
It depends on oil.
It's about what you have. You manage what you have. Some of them have sugar stock that can last only 10 days. Some of them are borrowing oil from nearby schools. They are managing the situation, you understand? And so, if you have provisions, check to your parents, you will fall on them as and when you think it is necessary.
Yeah, but why is Charles speaking now? My memory is not that short. This is just about the first time that they have been so open about this call.
Well, I think Charles has been open about the challenges in feeding. They have been very open about the challenges in feeding. Headmasters have not been open, but Charles has been open about the challenges in feeding. There were times where Charles threatened to close down schools in Eastern region. They issued a statement because money for running the schools and buying food from their 30% local suppliers have been in arrears for over a year. Except that Charles is also trying to take advantage of the transition and demand that old senior high schools that date as far back as 2021, because such debts have been hanging and haven't seen or didn't see any political will to service since. And so what Charles is demanding is not about cash to run schools now, and then arrears, not only in feeding, but in other lines that are used to run the schools. That data as far back as 2021. But it's important to say that some payments were made to schools on Monday. So most of the senior high schools who are on commercial bank accounts received their funding on Monday. But those who directly do business with Bank of Ghana are yet to get their money. That payment, yes, I understand. It's a fraction. It's a very small amount of money. But at least it must be acknowledged that it is something that the schools can manage in buying the the perishables that they need and the consumables they need to cushion the running of schools. So we hope that the Bank of Ghana will expedite their transfer processes so that the schools with Bank of Ghana accounts can also receive that money and then also manage it.
Kofi, I want to thank you for your time with us. It's been really insightful. You've really broken down the situation and helped us understand it from various angles. Churchill.
Well, look, this is something we've talked about before. When Ken Oforiatta talked about the fact that he felt he could pay and so shouldn't allow the state to pay. At the time, Mustafa Hamid, who was information minister, felt that whole statement was unnecessary. But this is the thing for me. You ask yourself, so where do we get the money to fund free SHS? It's from our collections, the consolidated fund. Now, when you have a program of this nature, sometimes it's very important you have dedicated funding.
True.
The moment you don't have dedicated funding, it means you're relying on government to actually make available funding. And the government expenditure is such that there are competing interests. So where the person decides that, oh, I can actually hold on. So this is a national food buffer, national buffer food company or whatever, buffer stock. We can hold on. We can hold on with the suppliers for a very long time until we go back to make payment. They will delay. And the time that the money will be needed the most would be the time that you probably may not have funds to pay them, and so then they start agitation. One would expect, and there's been this conversation before, that a portion, if we really want to do this, a portion of, say, our petroleum funds should go into the funding of education. Or we could have actually made available a portion of Get Fund. Get Fund is supposed to go into the provision of infrastructure or whatever. We could have made available a portion of Get Fund to actually go into the funding of free SHS. Because as it stands now, to be very honest with you, I don't in my world see how free SHS is supposed to be competing with all government interest for funding. I don't see it. And this is the other point. Look, the whole approach, the National Food Buffer Company is supposed to buy food from farmers and distribute to state agencies, and also buy food from farmers to prevent post-harvest losses. So ordinarily, when it comes to the National Food Buffer Company, sometimes people go and supply to them at very low rates. Anybody who's done business with National Food Company will tell you. You could be buying maize on the market at, say, 600. They would offer 450 and say supply to us at 450. That's how much we are prepared to pay you. That's it. They take it at farm gate prices. Now, if they take it at farm gate prices and still are unable to pay these people, then there's a problem. But again, what has been the approach of the National Food Buffer Company? It's been the appointment of persons who have believed to have served in bringing the government into office, and so it is a reward for them for the work they did in the past. So what they do, and in this case, you've had some party officers being made to supply food to these institutions and are being paid. So what do you expect? I am all for giving headmasters a chance. We decentralize it. But I think that it's about time we had a conversation about a dedicated fund for free SHS. One that we can track and say, this is how much we need for free SHS. This is how much comes in. Look, we can just say a percentage of, say, Get Fund would go into supporting free SHS. No problem.
Except that Get Fund itself has never been able to meet its projects and complete. Let me give an example. Legon, projects that were supposed to be completed by Get Fund some time before 2009. Some of them are still sitting there.
I know.
So effectively, that's in itself a problematic source. I agree with you. But if we are allowed as a people to have conversations about how to deal with free SHS, if that review word was not seen as how do you call it? Haram, we would have been having some of these conversations, and maybe we all come around the table and discuss the alternatives available to us. For example, instead of pretending that there's a COVID levy that should be on our books today, how about we thinking of such an alternative, converting it?
Yes, COVID levy becomes the free SHS levy.
Brilliant.
We can do that.
Others have said, I don't care if e-levy is converted to, say, a free SHS levy.
Yeah.
I do not have a problem with that. I know I'm contributing something sensible, not pretentious. I'll create jobs for you. I hope you get my point. Yeah. So some of these options should be discussed, and let's not.
And you see, Raymond, let me just add this before you come in, Mama. I do not understand governments of Ghana. You say you think about the people. Me, I say I want to pay my child's school fees. Then you tell me that if you want to pay your child's school, you take your child to a private
school.
But I say I want to pay.
And this is the executive lead of the country.
I say I want to pay my child's school fees. I just pray and hope. Look, if President Mahama says he wants to have a national economic dialogue, let the people in that dialogue tell President Mahama what they want. If the general consensus is that free SHS in its current state is not what the people want, and parents are willing to pay, he should let parents who are willing to pay. And let's target those who cannot pay. What happened to, why don't we do LEAP in this country that targets the extreme poor in this country, that is able to assist them? I don't have a problem. If we want to do the free SHS and we want to use, say, COVID-19 levy to fund free SHS, I don't have a problem. I would pay. But because at least the problem here is that people, we have just not done well with the system. We are unable to pay. Look, Raymond, I end on this note, I went to Mali School in December 2022. This is not the first time I've said this.
Yeah.
When I asked the children, have you eaten? They said no. I said, who taught you people how to lie? I saw you eating. They said what they had was not food. And that they had Tom Brown without bread and sugar. That cannot be considered as food.
You know, we've had people who are advocates for the free senior high schools, very respectable persons. Professor Peter Korte, for instance, has talked about the fact that if you look at the country's finances today, there's no way that we can sustain this policy in its current form. I think it is very clear that right now, even the parent themselves, it is me, I am the parent, you are giving me free, and I'm saying that I am willing to support. I think the table should be created for people to come and share their views, and let's move this policy forward so that we can sustain it. It's been introduced already. It is here to stay, but it cannot in the form that it is in now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like lies. You call the thing free, but by all analysis, over 70% of it is paid for by parents. So it's not free. Let's just start from that point, that the thing that you wanted to do, you haven't done it. It's not free. Now, while I support suggestions of thinking outside the box on how to fund it, you know, like maybe convert the COVID levy, you know, and create a fund solely to fund free SHS. While I am interested in some of these ideas, I am not interested in paying any tax that will result in procurement for politicians. I am not interested in that. I want to pay for children to be fed. And in fact, the people who want to do that the most are their own parents.
Yeah.
So why are we struggling? Why is this difficult? Why can we not educate children when the parents are willing to fund their boarding?
I mean, they are buying food and going to the schools and packing for the kids to come and sit in the car and eat the food anyway.
No other example. None. Zero. Go round the globe. I can think of no other nation where the state pays for the boarding of the children. I can think of none. So it is certainly not best practice. So what is it that we are trying to achieve? What are we trying to achieve? Even Nkrumah didn't want to do it this way. Even Nkrumah, who even came up with the whole progressively free blah blah blah, he didn't want to pay for their boarding. Is that what is that what was in the original policy? So where from this? What are we doing? Let's educate the children. Let's make sure that we don't malnourish them in a bid to look good for ourselves. Let us not play politics with the children's nutrition, their health, their safety, their welfare. Let's not do that. Our constitution says that in all things, every decision that we make that involves a child, it is the best interest of the child that should be paramount. Not you looking good or you having a presidential legacy. That is not paramount. It is the interest of the child. I think I've said enough. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll find out what is on President John Mahama's table in the first few days of his presidency. Stay with us.
I used to stress about where to receive my Abro-Tracy car and always used to doubt whether my friend has really sent it.
So I asked a friend of mine and he said his wife used to have similar challenges until she decided to receive money transfers from CBG.
Well, I can relate because now I receive my money from CBG. It's so simple, fast and secure with no delays and no hidden fees. And I must say, life is now feeling good.
Stay connected to your loved ones no matter where they are. With Consolidated Bank Ghana's money transfer services, you can receive money quickly and securely from abroad, whether through MoneyGram, Western Union, PayAngel, Transfast, UnityLink, RIA, EaseRemit, Thunes, TapTap Send and TerraPay. Cash out your way any day with Consolidated Bank Ghana. Welcome to the good life. CBG, we stand with you.
We stand with you.
Love that tune. You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show. Superman show. Yeah, I'm slang some slangs, innit? Superman show. Yo.
We know you.
Yeah, the Super Morning Show on Joy. It's 9:26, and we really want to hear from you on this topic. Okay, we'll be opening the phone lines to get your thoughts and views on this issue of feeding. So listen, are you a parent? Are you a teacher? Are you a student? Is this something that has been preying on your mind? We want to hear your views, okay? So you know the numbers, 0302 216541 and 055 1111 997. Okay, 0302 216541 055 1111 997. Call us, let's talk about it. Kofi Asare sent this one in. He says the most reliable source of funding in Ghana, the ABFA, has been solely dedicated to financing free SHS. The problem is not the funding source, it's the cash flow mechanism within an extremely slow and complex public finance system. So there you go, very important aspect of the problem being highlighted.
So the bureaucratic structures.
Yes. Okay, so let's take some of your calls. Stephen calls us from Achimota. Hi, Stephen. Good morning.
Achimota.
Good morning, Kojo.
Thanks for calling, Stephen. Happy New Year.
Many happy returns. I'm a first-time caller.
Oh wow, that's great. Welcome to the family.
Thank you very much. I've been with the FM at the start.
Brilliant.
Yes. I'm happy you got the expert to explain some aspects of the issue of free SHS feeding. But I disagree that the problem started from September. The problem has been with the scheme at its inception. And the truth is, parents have I have personally packaged my children's food, breakfast, in rations for 1 month, and every month I'll have to appear there, and I have to give them money for lunch and dinner, which sometimes has to be smuggled in every day until they finish.
Wow.
As PTA chairman, we have had to mobilize resources from those who have the means to feed the school, although some people cannot afford. And we did agree that definitely some parents cannot afford. So we were happy to support it. It is very true, and I support the ideas from your crew that those who can pay should be allowed to pay, and we should rationalize the process. How can a buffer stock go buy things and distribute the whole country when the school can get it? Let us scrap the whole idea of buying from buffer stock. Let the schools go to their local market. After all, we have fed them from the local market before they came to school.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Listen, can I ask which school you're the PTA head for?
I think, I don't know whether that has any implication for the headmaster or not.
I understand. Okay.
So please let me hide that one for now. But
Stephen.
I can talk to you subsequently offline.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for that. Let's go to Tema. Hello, Claude.
Hello, Kojo.
Happy
How are
New
you
Year. Very well, thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Same to you, my brother.
Yes. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Claude, we're listening. Go ahead.
Yes. You know, you talked about a number of things, including a dialogue to discuss the free SHS.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, when you have to have a dialogue, you ask yourself, who are the caliber of people who will be in it? It will be the well-to-do, rich, affluent people, you know. Then you don't have the broad masses having their input into it. I believe strongly that free SHS is one of the best policies that has happened to this country. They need to make sure it's working well, because we had gold over hundreds of years. What is the benefit to the country? Now we have oil. If it hadn't been maybe free SHS, how many of us will have benefited from the oil money? At least some of it is coming to the ordinary persons, whether in whatever form it is. I think free SHS, we have seen a little in the pockets of the people. If you're a civil servant, then you understand what it takes to cater for 2 or 3 children in SHS.
Yeah.
You know. Now you look at it too, over the years, those who dropped out with aggregate 36 and those things, they are all having the opportunity to go to SHS. Some of them have gone to university with aggregate 36, 40. Some have even done masters. So realize that the opportunity has to be given, the CHSS has to be done properly.
Right.
The last thing I want to talk about the food issue.
Yeah.
There should be a special department maybe under GES to look at importing the importable items like the tin tomatoes and things they need to import, rather than giving it to people who add their profits to it. GES should have a special unit that takes care of that. It goes to the schools. Lastly, I think the North. How can they not have bread when other schools are having bread? Somebody has to go into audit of who manages the supply of the food. You know, there are canteen people who are pilfering food. We know all over the years. And some of these things, we need to get people to be checked. Headmasters need to open their eyes and check what happens to the food. Which ones are being taken by kitchen staff and those things. Creating a big problem, you know.
Right.
So I think we need to look at a holistic approach. The dialogue should not be only for those who are speaking on the phone, like some of us. You can call. The ordinary person cannot call and share his view.
Right.
But the children have the opportunity now to go to school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claude. Much appreciated. Jones is in La. Hi, Jones. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Happy New Year, my brother.
Same to you, Kojo. This is Jones Adobe from La. Kojo, it is said that when the animal is dead, before you can see the real length of the animal. Now we are all seeing what is going on. We have seen PFJ1, PFJ2 up to today, and sometimes let me put this aside. Sometimes I blame you, the media. You don't scrutinize enough some of these things. You don't scrutinize enough some of these things. They have put in place policies that they are spending Ghanaian money for, and we don't see any outcome of it. What we saw was to go and bring food from the farm to. Now, the schools, they are forcing the students to go to school without food. How are they going to feed? We thank God that we have a savior now. Now, you see the headmasters, they are all coming out. People are coming out. It means that our second independence has come. Now, everybody is coming out, saying all kinds of things. You are leaving office and your fuel to even power our generators, we can't get. Before you came, everything was fixed for you. We have an excess generation. Today, we are leaving office. You can't even provide and leave 1 week oil for us. These are some of the things. These are some of the things we talked about. These are some of the things we expected the media to probe these people so much that they can't live without answering all these things. These things has been made, and it has remained with that. Look, somebody has taken office just yesterday. Look at what is happening. The pressure on him. The pressure. We are not saying, or he's not saying that he doesn't foresaw all these things. He has foreseen it. He is going to deal with them. But you people today, you should see that every government should be scrutinized to the extent that these things should not be happening. You see, if those will come right now, who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame Don Mahama, or are you going to blame who? But by the way, I want to ask the president. I never knew that the president can sit on any other chair apart from the chair that has been carrying the V8. Yes, he sat on the chair. Did he die? But V8 was carrying chair everywhere he goes.
Oh, goodness.
Hello. Where is the EC boss? We didn't see the EC boss in the ceremony. Where is he? Jane Mensah, where was he? We didn't see her. All these things. Look at what is happening. This woman should have been writing his resignation note by now. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling, Jones. All right. Kaketo. Kaketo. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Kaketo. Good morning to you, my brother.
Good morning. And they are correct the wrongs in the society.
Yes. Okay. So talk to us.
Thank you. First and foremost, let me thank Joy FM for always giving us a platform like this for ordinary people in the country to talk to the political class. First and foremost, let's look at the SHS. I have never ever understood why the country will say for somebody like Justin Sian, Dr. Sian of Japan, Ibrahim Mahama, Nana Akufo-Addo, President Kufuor, and their likes, and MPs and chief executives. I've never understood this, that their children should enjoy free education. They at least reasonably they have some coins. They can pay their children's school fees. We have thousands and millions of them in Ghana.
And when you visit our villages, and you see the poverty, Ghanaian children who are poor. I understand that in US and in UK or in the developed world, they tax the rich to take care of the poor. But it's only in Ghana here. The free SHS that Nana Akufo-Addo brought. I love it. Everybody love it. I'm an NDC Consultancy Executive of Teshi. It's a good thing. But I have never understood when even the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, said he can pay his children's school fees. So one thing I've realized about Ghana is that whatever good thing you want to do for Ghana, when you come as president, just do it. If you are unable to do it correctly, somebody will come and correct it. So President Mama has come. He said the CSHS has come to stay. So President Mama will do a stakeholder meeting, like Dr. Kostiogaba held stakeholder meeting when it came to the debt fund. And today we have debt fund in place. So we welcome it. The second issue is about the buffer stock. Again, we are talking about agriculture. If we want to empower the districts to go into proper agriculture, we have.
Hello. Oh, I think we lost Kaketo there. Sorry about that. But let's take another call. We're going back to La. This is Chidiak. Hi, Chidiak. Good morning.
Yeah, Kojo, Afishapa.
I feel over to you, my brother.
Thank you. First solution, the e-blocks in the communities. People will eat in their homes, will sleep in their homes, buses will pick them to school. After that, they come back to sleep in their homes and eat in their homes. Problem number one is solved. When we left those buildings in the bush. Good. When you go to most of these secondary schools, they have big lands, they have places they rear animals. Those days, some of us when we're going to school, and they have tractors. Where are they? Let's go back to these things and think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chidiak. All right. Oh, yes, someone we haven't heard from in quite some time, Benjamin of Adenta. Hi, Benjamin. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Kojo. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's great to hear from you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well and the team. Well, truth stands, and Mahama 2016, all lies, blah, blah, blah. He's back. But I don't know why we do this merry-go-round thing when the truth is staring in the face. Anything that happens in this world, there's always some things for you to see that, hey, Charlie, Akwa Obano, or any Papa knew, but people will never ever listen. And the media is also to blame. Now, this free SHS thing, I mean, come on. Now the headmasters are talking. Before they were not talking. It's a lie. They never can talk. Charles was not even talking. If you talk, they take you off. That's what was happening. So today they have their voices. And I would not be surprised that all kinds of religious, so-called, because I don't respect those people, leaders, are going to come and be talking again. Because at Akufo, they couldn't talk. I don't know whether they were afraid they would be killed. Or who is Akufo-Addo? I don't understand it. Anyway, this free SHS thing, the problems were there from day one. It was envisaged. Professors of high repute have spoken. They were all shunned. They were insulted and blah, blah, blah. Now we are back to the same problems and the same square. Well, the problems are there. Buffer stock here, food here, this here. The best solution is that Mahama shouldn't cancel it. It's already been brought upon Ghana. We have oil money. It shouldn't be cancelled. The schools should be day schools. More schools should be day schools. Once the day schools are there, people will be fed from the house. And then we improve on quality. Those who want to go to boarding house should pay. Then those who, nobody should take school fees of anybody. But I cannot be feeding somebody's child. You've given birth to 20 children. Did I ask you to go and give it to 20 children? Some have 1, some have 2, some have 3, 4. You want 50 children. Look after your own children. It's not the state that must take care of every responsibility for you to the extent that you have to go to the boarding house and be feeding. I mean, the option is there. You have the opportunity to go to school. Just go to school. But once we talk about this, let's not lose sight of the massive corruption that happens within this free SHS thing. Bawumia said that he was distributing parts to the kids. Where are the parts? I have a lot of people in my area. The last time I was asking them, they came back. They just went back to school. I don't know whether they are still in school. They're going to come back to the house. None has any part. The textbooks are not there. The billions of CDs called mention for those things, where are they? Anytime they are doing digitalization and economy, still digital man, we never hear anything like the cost factor, like the e-buses, the EV buses he brought. I have been finding out how much is one bus costing. All his projects, we don't know the part. How much is it costing the state? And at what stage is it? Let's scrutinize this. Let oral start working. And the problems are there, yes, but we shouldn't focus so much on things we already know. Let the media help. Let's start calling them to come and answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. All right, then. Tema is our next stop. Here is Bonsu. Bonsu, good morning.
Good morning.
I think you have to switch off your radio or move away from it so that you can hear us just on the phone, okay?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Thanks for calling. Bonsu. Mpocho yo.
Yo. Mijinde. Yana na yo. Headmasters in some schools. What the demand on now for source to talk with the Kugu. I didn't share grammar secondary school Kufobia, Mitchell, watch it. Or the demand Kunifi, or the touch the road, what's more. Okay, let me say the year my ban. The my ban. I mean, yeah, MPPU, they're gunning. It's what most stations so. One of the man from me. They are never the back. Let me say them complain. It is me and what's any other from Kugu. Abandon. Let us know offend the business. Now, headmasters, both schools. Look at the young people if you want that. Sunday, one first can move go ahead. I mean, no mind. Obepa Fiara, Obe so Fiara. If you mention ye pa, Malayan on what? Mamma Moaba, we only have performed the Obesh money for the next 4 years. The one, no more. What ye Mamma being far, won't watch it to you, Mamma. Won't be our woman. And what? Now on board on money so. Upon all the Kaka and San America, unless will be shooting that. Upon if I know Sukwanda, Abanda shooting that. Let's have more school, one school fee. I have more men, and policy size, wrong. On board. You know that's it.
Yes, yeah, that's Bebre, and that's Bonsu in Tema. Let me summarize what he said. He said that he thinks the problem is really with stealing of food items by school staff, matrons, and so forth. He references a story by Daniel Daze that talked about this happening. So he thinks that's the problem, and that we shouldn't always blame government for these issues. He says we should all support John Mahama since he is now in charge. And then he says there's nothing wrong with the state looking after people's children. It's been happening for some time now. Okay, we're going to Lashibi. Here's Donko. Hi, Donko. Good morning.
Hey, boss. Good morning and Happy New Year.
To you too, my brother.
Oh, it's been a while.
It has, oh.
Anyway, straight to the point. In fact, those are the education sector, in terms of the director of education and all those concerned. I could say this is an indirect starvation. They knew very well that the stock cannot last these children when they open, and they said they should go. We shouldn't sit down and let's say democracy, or make people who are deliberately starving our children sit in their office. Immediately they should be made to go home. Because from my daughter is at Mauli. And yesterday she called me. I have to send her money so that she can substitute for their food. What is coming is not enough. So I'm calling on whichever authority can act to let those who say the children should go to school once they know there's no food in school should be made to go and sit home immediately. Because there are saboteurs over there who just didn't say, for example, at the energy sector. And on other note, please, this ex gratia issue, when you come on board, I have some suggestions I'll give to the current government. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donko. And Donko was our last caller. So thanks to all of you, Stephen, Claude, Jones, Kakito, Chidiak, Benjamin, Bunsu.
Hey, so, you know, when you give money to your child who is in secondary school somewhere to go and buy food, what kind of food are they buying? What's the quality of the food that they're buying? I'm worried about that.
That's a concern. What some parents have done is, if it's possible, get families of teachers and those living on campus to help with the preparation of food for them. Alternatively, you have to really structure the other alternatives, the groceries you are buying for the child. So do it per day. Make that, have that, so you send it every month. The difficulty is if your child is very far from you, then okay, but there are alternatives like, you know, I think is it Chopbox or so. Chopbox, for example, can deliver your what they call it, provisions for you. But if you can take, that's what every parent, and I'm saying schools that ignored this fantasy that we're all living in are the schools that have proper systems in place. The parents understood that they'll contribute to that, having the conversation. They're not pretending that this free SHS was solving all problems for them, and they know that it's their children, so they were contributing massively to make sure that the kids are fed properly, and they're not going to be part of any conversation about no, because they identify that it's their problem to deal with.
So it's the leadership in the individual schools as well.
See, and let's not forget about the effect of all this on the children themselves, right? Because when you are forced to send money or smuggle food to your child in school every single day, that means that they have to take time out of their studies, their extracurricular activities, to walk up the hill to the headmaster's house or the teacher's house to take a phone and call you, or receive mobile money, or and then the money is coming through somebody else's phone, and then there will be moments when some of the money doesn't come, or somebody takes the money and delays in handing it over to your child, or your child gets the money and can't even find the food to buy, or has to go outside campus to go and find the food to buy and come back. You see, you are putting a burden on the child that was never supposed to be his or hers.
Yeah. True.
That's why there's a dining hall, so that at the designated time he can simply walk there and eat and go back to his education. But we've created the situation where now the children have to be doing all kinds of guru boy activity, walking around just to get food to eat. That's also a negative effect of all this on the child, and all in a bid to say that we educated them for free.
If you go through all that, what time do you have to learn?
Thank you.
Because that's why you're in the school.
Yes.
You'll be staying at home. The only reason why you're gone there is dedicate your entire time learning. Everything else is secondary.
And we are doing all this to the children just so that we can say we educated them for free. Come on. Anyway, thanks to all of you who contributed. Your messages are coming through. We're seeing them as well. But what a way to kick off 2025. Holiday Inn Airport City is now Palms by Eagles, and they offer a fresh, delightful experience. The newly improved hotel is ready to welcome you with unmatched hospitality in the heart of Ghana. You can join them for their Sunday brunch, which returns every Sunday. Come and experience elevated hospitality like never before at Palms by Eagles.
And have you heard about M-Care from MTN and Med Pharma? Well, it's convenient healthcare for everyone. Being sick is no fun, and neither is waiting in long queues for healthcare. But with M-Care, all that hassle disappears. With the silver and gold packages, you get to choose between 10 Ghana cedis and 161 Ghana cedis per month, and enjoy access to a doctor anytime, anywhere, and an efficient e-pharmacy with medication delivered to your doorstep. And guess what? It comes with life insurance cover for hospitalization and death, as well as health insurance depending on your package. And this is all unbelievable. What's more convenient than this? Download the Med Pharma app to sign up to the silver or gold package today.
Charlie, enjoyment is real, Mr. Youngson. From January to June 2025, as the self-appointed director of enjoyment of this team, Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing rewards. When it comes to free, there's Mamavi. Free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone. All free, my dear lady. Free!
Free is not bad. Why do you make free sound like
I like the way you
Nobody
defended
has
your
said
own.
free is bad. We are only putting out information that when it comes to free, the person who appreciates it the most is Mama V Owusu Abuaji.
They should have made you free SHS ambassador. so it's really that simple. Ensure naturally. With over 100 years of trusted experience, we are here to secure your peace of mind. Visit any branch, connect with your insurance agent or broker, or use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons and airtime instantly when you buy or you renew your motor insurance. Enterprise Insurance is rated AAA by the GCR for financial strength and claims paying ability. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage.
And the Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is organizing its end of year furniture promotion sale. So look, what you can do is that Kingdom Books and Stationery is giving you a whopping 10 to 15% discount on all furniture at their furniture shops. That's Tema near Community 4, their head office, Stakrady Market Circle, Cape Coast, at the University Bookshop, Spinters Road near APSA, and Atomic at the Center Point Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also shop online, kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For inquiries, call 0501620810 or 0302764101 or email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
I wonder if you knew this. According to ChatGPT, under Ghana's free senior high school program, the daily feeding allocation per student is approximately 5 cedis and 20 pesos. This amount is intended to cover breakfast, lunch, and supper for each student. That's the amount that we are struggling over.
I see.
5 Ghana per student per day. 5 Ghana cedis.
But you know, Kojo, when free SHS started, at the time, those who were in boarding schools were paying around 800 or so. And around that time, those who started free SHS in 2017, you didn't hear a lot of complaints. What people forget actually is that the headmasters at the time had these boarding fees. So where even supplies were delayed, they could use those funds to augment fees.
Precisely.
And so in those days, people could, they wouldn't complain. By 2018, you still had those who were in Form 2, now in Form 3, also,
paying fees,
boarding fees.
Yeah.
By the time we got to 2020, where we had only those undergoing free SHS,
yes,
parents started feeling it. Because the thing really is that, if you pay your boarding fees, the headmasters would get suppliers to supply in bulk. They're able to deal with the situation.
And they can't even give you excuses.
Yes, they'll feed you.
Because I paid the money to you and everything. Perhaps what we could have also done is say in every class, in every school, you identify 15 parents that can pay extra for other people. Maybe that would have been a way to help out one way or the other. The entire thinking of state is we take taxes from everybody, that we supplement those extreme poor. Except that in this country, we redefined that because we just wanted to have a legacy that says everybody goes in, everybody does not pay. If that is the legacy that you want, you go heaven and earth and protect that legacy. No excuses. But we're just made to feel as if the space is closed. We can't talk about it, but it's still happening. Then parents, being loving parents, found solutions. And I'm insisting that the schools that are not complaining are the schools where parents sat with the leadership of the schools and say, see, we're not going to be waiting for government to come and pretend, because they are kids. They are in the private schools. They are not part of us. So if you're going to keep our kids in these schools, we really would contribute to it. And you check those schools and see whether they are giving these complaints.
Look, I think in this country, we abuse that word visionary a little too much. Let's not forget, when free SHS started, the visionaries who started it didn't even know how they will fund it. Have we forgotten?
Yeah, it was
they had no idea.
Actually.
They had no idea how to fund it. Is that visionary? Then at some point, those who could afford it said, look, this thing, we would rather pay for our children. The response from the visionaries was that if you want to pay, take your child to private school. Is that visionary? Is that visionary? You are struggling to fund something. People say we'll fund it. You say no, go and fund private people. Is that visionary? Then eventually the thing came to a head and everybody said, look, let's just review this. It's not sustainable. It will not last. Let's review how we are doing it. You say they are attacking you. Is that visionary?
And you see, it's not NDC that said review first. The first institutional head was the Catholic Bishops' Conference.
Thank you.
One of the plenary statements.
Yes.
Secondly, it's
Professor Peter Kote.
Yes.
He said the thing is not sustainable. Review it. It's good to have free SHS. But to say that everybody should pay for boarding is not sustainable. You say they are attacking you. Is that visionary?
Then the teachers, NAT. Then NAGAT.
Everybody said it to you. But you say no. I prefer to get it wrong than to admit that I can do it better. Is that visionary? I'll leave that. Let's wrap this up. Thank you all so much for listening to our show. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow for Friday's edition of the Super Morning Show. We'd love to have you join us from 10 minutes to 6 all the way up till 10 a.m. But listen, keep it on Joy until then. My name is Kujo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
My name is Mama Vio Swabwaje.
Raymond Dakwa.